What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 157 of Ghost in the Night, a paranormal and true crime podcast. Tonight, we are dipping our toes into the true crime realm. The granddaddy of them all, probably the most infamous, the most notorious serial killer of all time. I would say this hit. Jeffery Dahmer is who we're doing. We're not doing him, but
if only.
We're covering Jeffery Dahmer tonight. I would say he is the most notorious. It covers the spectrum. We got sex.
Well, I mean,
we got homosexual sex.
Well, I mean, you have to take into account like people like Jack the Ripper and shit too.
Well, okay, in
modern
in America.
Yeah, well,
don't throw Ed Gein out. Don't throw that.
No, because Ed Gein's not a serial killer.
No, he just killed a few people. I mean, but Dahmer. We got sex.
It's either Dahmer or Bundy.
We got murder.
Or Gacy.
We got murder.
Or BTK.
We got cannibalism.
I don't know. Well, now fucking Netflix has jumped on the goddamn bandwagon, and now everybody's fucking popular.
Yeah, I guess.
I just started a new one about that fucking serial rapist at Ohio State back in the 70s. Billy Milligan, the one that had like dissociative disorder or some shit.
Well, don't they all?
Said he heard like 20-something different voices in his head.
Oh.
They said he was in like a psychological coma when he did all the shit. He didn't remember it. Most people think he's just best actor of all time.
Maybe. Academy Award.
It's on Netflix.
But I think that, I mean, we got body count. I'm big on, if you're going to be a serial killer.
On Dahmer? Was it 17?
17, I think, is what he's credited with.
In a short period of time, too.
Yeah.
Minus one.
There
was one early one.
That
and then the rest of it was like.
And it should have been more, because you'll cover this. He bumbled a lot of his shit.
Yeah.
And there were some people that got away, and he didn't get caught.
Yeah, not quite to the level of like an Armin Maves, because he actually let a guy go because he was looking for somebody to voluntarily have homosexual relations with him, and also be voluntarily killed and eaten. And he had one guy show up for that, and the guy, I guess the guy decided he wanted to back out, and he's like, I don't feel well, and Armin Maves was like, oh well, by all means. Go on home, have a nice glass of tea.
We'll try this
and
again
don't
later.
Get eaten. That's fine. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. Have a great. Do you need bus money?
When you feel better, we'll do this again.
Hey, that's literally what he did. He was just like, oh well, I mean, if you're not feeling up to it, because his whole thing was he didn't want to do it unless that person wanted to be killed and eaten.
Well, I admire that in a killer.
I mean, there's something to be said for honor amongst
murderers,
cannibals.
Okay, but before we get started. We do have a little bit of business to cover.
Apparently, we have a new Patreon
that I didn't know about. Mr. Nathan, we thank you so much for your Patreon pledge. And he is at
Nate.
He's at the second tier. He's getting a sticker. Oh. The sticker will be coming your way shortly. I will send you a message and make sure we got all your information, your proper information, and we will get that sticker out to you. If you would like to join Nathan in all our latest
Where's Nathan from? Do we know? Is he from across the pond too?
Nathan's, I think, in the United States, or at least North America, I believe. But if you want to join Nathan and the rest of the Patreon subscribers and support the podcast, get bonus material, bonus episodes.
Maybe one day when we have advertisements, ad-free episodes.
Be sure to go to patreon.com/GITN podcast. That is the link to support us and keep the lights on. Okay, it's not keeping the lights on, but that's.
I like displaying the things. I'm like Cargo Vanna White.
Yes,
it was a fat joke.
I know, but I don't acknowledge fat jokes.
My double chin does.
I get offended easily, but that's really all the business. But tonight, like I said, we are doing Jeffery Dahmer, the Milwaukee Cannibal.
Yeah, this is gonna be a stretch. We're gonna be pushing our time, our preferred time limit.
That's okay.
There's so much information on this motherfucker.
Yeah. So Travis is gonna carry the load on here. I'm just gonna sit here, look pretty, and probably drink, get drunk. Hell, I might pass out.
Plus the printouts. Can't forget the printouts for the added information that I don't have handwritten.
All right. So Travis,
Jesus Christ.
Whenever you want to start, I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to start drinking. I'm just going to sit here, push some buttons every now and then.
All right, you twiddle fucks and cock boy piece of shit motherfucking dick face, cock goblin, semen suppositories.
This is why I drank.
Tonight on Ghosts in the Night, we have the Milwaukee Cannibal, or the Milwaukee Monster, Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the most prolific serial killers in American history, with the stupidest, laziest fucking names of all time. Not his real name. The Milwaukee Cannibal. No shit. That's a little bit on the nose, don't you think? Jeff, why don't you go back to your fucking desk and rewrite that one, you fucking douche.
Isn't that the media's job to give these serial
Exactly.
Well,
like, what the fuck? Where was what's his tits? The editor in chief from Spider-Man to be throwing cameras at people and shit over these stupid fucking titles.
I'm telling you what. Oh, in what movie was that?
I don't know. There's been about 1 million movies made.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, but I think if I was going to be a serial killer, which I'm not
yet,
maybe not.
Get one more in while you're talking in the beginning of this.
I would want to actually have a good... I'd be pissed if they didn't give me a good name. But with the Milwaukee Cannibal or Milwaukee Monster, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that douchebag, it's Wisconsin. Would you expect anything more from Wisconsin? I mean, let's face it. I'm not that concerned about it. I wouldn't expect them to come up with a really good poetic name.
Right? The cheesehead grater.
Yes. I mean, come on. All right.
I mean, I'm not trying to... They very well could have just called him the Packer. That hits a couple nails on the head. And he did work in a chocolate factory, which we will touch on later.
that's actually kind of funny, actually.
All right, again,
go ahead.
We get back on track. Jeffery Dahmer, Jeffery Dahmer, if you will. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born on May 21st, 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was the first of two sons born to Joyce Annette and Lionel Herbert Dahmer. So, what is the term for that when you take your dad, when you have like your dad's name as your middle name? Is it like a half-ass junior?
I don't know. I'm not aware of actual name for that, but it is a stupid.
Okay, so just a little background. Joyce, his mother, was a teletype machine instructor, which, in case you didn't know, a teletype machine is a electromechanical typewriter that is used to communicate typed messages from A to B through a simple electrical communication channel. I didn't know what that was, so I looked it up.
Yeah, say that real quick.
Whereas Lionel was a chemistry student at Marquette University and later became a research chemist. Good call, Dad. You totally didn't help with this situation.
Oh, he helped. He really helped as he got older.
Yes. Now, some say in his younger years as a wee lad, as an infant even, that Jeffrey was deprived of attention and love and stuff like that. But from what I read, most accounts say that he was like doted upon in a way.
Was not neglected.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I would
say. By
say.
both his parents.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that. Somebody's lying. But first factor in serial killerness in this story is his mom, Joyce, was super greedy for the attention and the pity of other people, and she would argue with her husband and the neighbors all the time.
Like a woman in that time frame would. They didn't have much else to do.
I mean, she had a job and shit.
I know, but still.
I don't know. So anyway, excuse me. Now, when Jeffrey's going into elementary school, Lionel's studies kept him at school or work a lot of the time, and when he was home, his super crazy, bitchy, hypochondriac wife was screaming for attention and staying in bed for extended periods of time very regularly due to her depression. And allegedly, quote-unquote allegedly, probably happened, attempted suicide one time using Equinol, which is basically an anxiety pill. It's like a tranquilizer of sorts.
Okay.
So, that's a good start for young Jeffrey. Now, Dahmer went from a normal, happy life and happy kid to being more subdued due to a double hernia surgery right before his 4th birthday.
That's kind of odd, isn't it?
Well, the psychiatrists looked into it and they said it was like his manifestation of the feeling of being helpless in that bed, of not being able to do anything or get up when he was afraid and wanted to. So it kind of like manifested itself later in his life as a young child.
Okay.
Yeah. Science. Or psychology, which is science to an extent.
So they say.
Yeah. Not in the Lord's book. So, because of that, Dahmer was a quiet and timid boy. And one of his teachers actually said that in his early years, or in his years in her studious watch, she saw the early signs of abandonment, which got worse due to his mom's illnesses, which got worse when she got, I don't know what that word is. Oh, when she got pregnant.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah. Postpartum, during partum, again partum.
Having another kid?
Full scope partum. Full spectrum partum. Full spartum.
Okay.
Fuck you guys.
We're winging this shit.
Dude, kinda. There's so much on, like, I'm going to make it, like, I'm getting through this in one episode. If I have to skip a couple murders, I will, because they're actually very repetitive once you get to a certain point. There is a block, like a 1-year block, where they're pretty much always the same MO.
He was
and
consistent.
the same, yeah.
I will give him that. That fucker was consistent.
So, October 1966, the Dahmer family moved to Doylestown, Ohio. O-H.
I-O.
And Jeffrey was given the chance to name his newborn brother, and he decided to name him David.
Huh.
Yes. Now, David was born the same year that their father graduated and started working as an analytical chemist in nearby Akron, Ohio. Dahmer became fascinated with the dead animals and at a very young age, and his dad actually remembers and reminisces and recounts removing animal bones from under the family home, and Jeffrey was extremely tickled by the sound that the bones made clanking against each other.
I mean, who doesn't like the sound of bones?
This is how in-depth I got into this. I don't even have to look at this for the next handful of notes.
Sweet.
So after this occurrence, Jeffrey then would go around the house and under the house and in the woods around the house looking for animal bones. And when he would find them, he just loved them. And he would refer to them as his fiddlesticks.
So basically, he was exhibiting homosexual tendencies at an early age using fiddlesticks.
Was fiddlesticks a thing?
Yeah, it's actually
Like a game?
I think so.
I know tiddlywinks. I don't know.
I think it was.
I don't know.
I think so. I'm not sure.
It sounds like it comes from the era of the big wooden wheel with the fucking stick.
Right.
You know, the kids with the stupid tall
I'm sure
fucking
somebody will
socks.
Let us know.
Wearing like wooden shoes and carrying their books around with belts.
But as you like to point out, I am old. I have heard the phrase fiddlesticks.
I've heard it before. I just didn't know if it was like an actual, like a game, a children's game, or ow. Sorry, I cracked. All my knuckles are cracking because of the cold weather. Fuck you guys. Patreon pledge so I can buy some fucking working hands. I'm poor, goddammit. Can't you see how poorly fed I am? I'm wasting away in front of your eyes. So,
you keep wasting. We're going to have to put the camera further back.
Anyway, shut up. So, as he was looking for bones and stuff, he found himself exploring the bodies of live animals.
That's what we'll call it, exploring.
Right. To like, basically in his mind, he was like mapping where their bones were. Which, had he turned into like a taxidermist? Yeah, which he said later after arrest, he was like, it could have just manifested as a normal hobby like taxidermy. Yeah, because that's normal. There's hella fucking high school kids walking around stuffing fucking bobcats and minks and, I don't know, other exotic animals. That's the second time that's happened in the history of this podcast.
What?
Animals.
We're early. I'm not even drunk yet.
So, jump ahead to 1968. The family moved to Bath Township, Summit County, Ohio. I don't know where the fuck that is. And on this 1.5 acre piece of land, there was a hut. I'm assuming it was like a tool shed. And this is where Jeffrey started to collect insects like large insects particularly, like dragonflies and moths, and the skeletons of small animals like chipmunks and squirrels and, chupacabras, baby mothmen, stuff like that. Normal everyday kid shit. And some of those animals he actually preserved in jars of formaldehyde and stashed in the hut. Which, second question, what the fuck is a kid doing with formaldehyde?
Well, his dad was a scientist, basically.
Fair enough, I guess. But, you don't question it? You don't go, hey, where'd my formaldehyde go? Or, hey, Jeff, what do you need this formaldehyde for? You huffing this shit? Are you on the wham bammers? Are you fucking snorting fiddlesticks?
Speaking of fiddlesticks,
You little cockmonger.
Jamie filled us in on the fiddlesticks.
Okay, thanks to Jamie, fiddlesticks are traditional instruments used to add percussion to old-time and Cajun fiddle music, allowing two people to play the fiddle at the same time. Thank you, Alex. R.I.P. Alex Trebek. Is he dead?
Oh, yeah, he finally passed away.
Did he?
I mean, I give that motherfucker credit.
I just remember the one episode right after he got re-diagnosed and they were doing Final Jeopardy and the girl bet all her money and was like, "We love you, Alex," and he started to tear up on TV.
I mean, he fought that shit.
Oh, dude, I felt so bad. I
time.
loved Alex. I loved Jeopardy. I used to watch Jeopardy with my dad when I was a kid.
I used to watch Jeopardy, but watch reruns, and people think I'm smart. That's how I roll, bitches. I DVR'd that shit and studied it.
Anyway. So one night when young Jefe, if you will, was eating dinner with his family, they were having chicken. They were eating that old El Pollo Loco. Or what is it from Breaking Bad? Los Pollos Hermanos. The Chicken Brothers. And he asked his dad what would happen if the chicken bones were put into bleach, which his dad, Lionel, got excited by this because he figured it was just his son showing a curiosity in science and showed him how to safely bleach and preserve animal bones. Which, cool, all good. That's as a kid, I probably would have been interested in that if my dad knew that and wanted to show it to me. All good, good.
How was old Herbie going to realize he could not realize his son was going to grow up
all's quiet on the Western Front there. You can't. You never know that he's going to try to mind fuck people to death. So Jeffrey started to preserve and collect animal bones and began to collect dead animals, which included roadkill. Throw that one in there because it's kind of gross.
That is gross.
Fair place to get a fucking dead animal for a small child, though, I guess.
I mean, it's kind of easy pickings, but okay.
Yeah.
I'd want more of a challenge.
Get the fuck out of here, the Beatles from the Jungle Book animated movie. The little weird drummer kid's coming to take our food. We should peck his fucking eyes out. He looks like he likes the penis.
Was that your John Lennon impersonation?
That's spot on. That's all the Beatles impersonation.
Except Ringo.
Yeah, because Ringo didn't talk until 1984. Anyway. So Dahmer would dissect the roadkill and bury them by the hut. Occasionally, he would place the skulls on top of makeshift crosses. None of this is working its way towards serial killerness.
Not at all.
Not a bit.
I don't see what the problem is.
Fucking Richard Ramirez had a more normal fucking childhood than this guy. So one of his childhood friends, almost put that in quotations because I feel like that's almost a joke to say that about this dude, said that he remembers Dahmer, that he was curious about how animals, said to him that he was curious about how animals, quote, fitted together. First off, did you skip English class, stupid? Second, if he had said that without the collection of animals, it would be creepier. It would be weirder. It would be a bigger red flag.
Probably.
But you throw in the collection of animals and the heads on crosses, then it becomes kind of a...
I mean, yeah. I mean,
it makes my this guy's not a serial killer dick a little softer.
I mean, my spidey senses are would be going off like a motherfucker right now. But I'm just special like that.
Yeah, I mean, but we didn't have the common knowledge of all this shit about serial killers that we do now back then. You know what I'm saying? Like Ted Bundy hadn't happened, Gacy hadn't happened. All the modern serial killers weren't really.
What year was he born again?
Dahmer?
Yeah.
60.
60? Yeah.
So this would be still early in the 60s
70s.
probably.
Late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah. Which I'd like to do Bundy, too.
Oh, we'll do Bundy because Bundy was a sex machine.
Unfortunately. What's the difference between women and onions?
They both make you cry. I know that. Huh? What?
Ted Bundy doesn't cry when he cuts women.
Oh.
Anyway.
We will definitely not a comedy podcast.
So in 1975, Dahmer decapitated a dog carcass. Then he nailed it to a tree and impaled the skull to a stick behind the house. Later, inviting a friend to see it, claiming that he had just happened to stumble upon it like that.
I mean, we had a good Vad the Impaler impersonation. I mean,
yeah.
He's on the right track.
Yeah, he's fucking crushing it right now. So, the year that Lionel taught Jeffrey how to preserve the bones, his mother started taking more medication, which led to less real interaction and less of a relationship with his mom, as is tradition. And then we jump ahead a little bit. We get to high school. In high school, Jeffrey Dahmer was seen as an outsider and had started drinking by the age of 14 and was getting drunk in school by this point.
I don't see what the fuck. I kind of like this motherfucker right now.
Right now.
I mean, I'm digging it.
So, one classmate actually asked Dahmer about his drinking. I heard and saw a couple different accounts of this. He was either drinking scotch or gin, from my understanding, during school hours, and Dahmer told him that the alcohol was his quote-unquote medicine.
Well, it is.
Not at fucking 14 years old.
Hey, we all have...
At 14 years old, medicine still tastes like bubble gum.
I have no issues with this.
Or it gets put gently into the first level of the hell that is your butthole by your trusted family doctor.
If good old Jeffrey wants to sip on some gin and juice during fucking recess, by all means. Get your swerve on, baby.
So he was a quiet, strange kid and effeminate. Very feminine, I guess. Which I guess in the early 70s, that's not saying much.
Well, everybody was.
Stop fucking crying, pussy. You're a man. You stow that shit until you kill yourself or die.
Now we're getting into closer to my birth. Yeah, that's how it was. Men don't have to.
This is the 1970s.
Bite my ball sack.
Now, this being said, teacher said that he was actually polite and really smart, but had average-ass grades. It's probably because he was fucking drunk all the time.
He was fucking hammered.
Yeah, I bet you I couldn't pass a fucking calculus exam if I was fucking pissed drunk by third period.
I mean, PE was a bitch when you're drunk.
Speaking of, he was actually also apparently a very good tennis player, and he was also in the school band for a short period of time. Now, once puberty started to hit old Jefe, he came to the realization that he was gay. Nothing wrong with that.
All good.
And
float your boat.
Yeah, and he was actually in a short relationship with another teenage boy, but they had never had any type of intercourse.
Just a lot of heavy.
Which is also
petting.
Normal.
A little heavy petting.
I didn't really find much on that.
I would imagine a little heavy
but
petting.
Also very normal. Like, whether it be a heterosexual, homosexual, any type of sexual relationship for a young teenage kid.
Exploring
to be in a relationship and not actually have anything physical happen, that's normal.
You're just exploring your sexuality.
Yeah.
Without driving it home.
Or discovering it even.
Right.
So at this point, around high school, his pee make yogurt time, the fuck?
Motherfucking YouTube.
Is that an ad?
I wonder if...
I don't have that problem. I have YouTube Premium. Now. This is when he started fantasizing about dominating and controlling a completely submissive male partner in his early teens. And then these fantasies just happened to focus on the chests and torsos of whoever he had in his mind, later evolving to include dissection.
I focus on the chest and torsos myself.
I'm more of an ass man, but, to
not.
each their own. We all have our own cross to bear. But as I said, these fantasies later evolved into having dissection as part of them, which now we're getting a little weird.
We'll get to that, but no.
Man chesties and penises and buttholes, fine. Dissection, questionable.
Oh, very much so.
if not full-on red flag.
Yes. I mean, if he was erect during science class, dissecting a
That's
frog.
what I'm saying. He's just sitting there like, look at that frog's gallbladder. Oh God, it looks just like Stewart from third period's epidermal fucking. I don't know any epidermals. I know what an epidermis is. I don't know any epidermal. Go fuck yourselves. I've had a long weekend.
Long weekend.
I'm trying to be funny for you. I could just take my shirt off or like show you my dick. That'll give everybody a good chuckle. They'll be like, look at it.
In the comment section or in the chat room, they say, zoom in. We can't see
they'll
shit.
be like, throw some pepper at it. Maybe it'll come out and sneeze and we can see it. It's like...
This is why we get horrible reviews.
Yeah, it's like that worm that eats people in the sand in Star Wars. Can't see it, but it's dangerous.
It's there. You know it's there.
You can't see it, but it's going to hurt you when it gets there.
Or at least maybe not hurt, maybe just annoy.
Anyway, Jesus Christ. So around 16 years old, Jeffrey came up with a plan to attack and sexually use the unconscious body of a male jogger that he found attractive. So he actually went ahead with hiding in the bushes with a baseball bat, but to his dismay, this man did not go jogging on that particular path that day, and he just laid there looking like a fucking creepy asshole.
Think about this motherfucker.
How long do you think he stayed there before he was like, well, I guess how fucking shitty it would be if, like, he's fucking like, well, I guess he's not going to show up, and he's just trudging his way through the forest, and he just hears... as the guy runs past, and he's like, fuck! He's like, all I do is drink fucking scotch at school and jack off to dude bodies. I can't catch this physically fit Adonis.
Yes. But think about this fucker. How lucky is he?
Right? Like, you just chose that day to not be healthy? Like, you went to White Castle and McDonald's and just sat at home and, like, fucking finger popped your asshole while you watched Walter Cronkite talk about dead people and stuffed your fucking face?
He's probably spent the morning bitching about his wife made him fucking vacuum or clean the toilet or something. He's cussing her out.
Or given the time period, he just smoked a fat doobie and then went to teach his fucking philosophy class at the local community college.
That's true. That is very true.
You going jogging today, Professor Campbell? No, it's actually yogging, bro. It's a soft J.
I will say, the 70s, early 70s, shitty generation. Shitty. Kind of dorky. Late 70s, all right. Kind of cool.
I don't know. I wasn't around for a while.
No, you had a few years to.
Yeah.
80s, sucked balls.
Although my soul and my mind is eternal, my body does have an age.
You heard it first. He's a vampire.
Satan is my god.
Oh, don't say that. We've covered enough Satan bullshit for the last
I found this really sick fucking brand that has an app. I downloaded the app.
Yeah.
Dude, they have a whole section of clothing that one is the satanic panic section, and the other one is just like stuff to basically say fuck. Like, there's one that's like that I want to buy, even though I'm not a Satan worshiper. I don't believe in Satan. But, like, it says on the back, it was like, I worship Satan and so do my friends, and if this shirt offends you, good. That's exactly why I fucking bought it, or something along those lines.
That just summarizes Satanism to a T right there.
Yeah. And then the other option that I've talked about on here before is the metalhead version of that.
What's
Chug
that?
whiskey, eat pussy, hail Satan.
Right. That was my favorite part of last week's episode at the end.
Dude, I want that fucking hoodie so bad. I'm going to start an Amazon wish list for to put on the podcast feed. Actually, it'll all be fucking parts to add to the show. Excuse me. Now, Dahmer himself admitted that was his first attempt to actually attack somebody.
Right.
He's dipping his toes in the water. He's testing it.
Complete fail, but that's okay.
Yeah, you stupid fucking idiot. You can't even attack and whatever the fuck you were going to do with the guy, right? You piece of shit. Go back to drinking scotch and playing in the band. Stupid. So, even though he was an odd, outcast-ish type of person with a weird demeanor in school, he was known as a class clown. And one of the things that he liked to pull pranks that they would call doing a Dahmer. And some of these pranks involved pretending that he had cerebral palsy and faking seizures in class or in local stores. I'm laughing. I don't think that's fucking funny though. For like the
it's kind of funny.
The idea of it is funny, but the execution is not funny. You know what I mean? Like especially in school. Like, what happens if there's that one quiet episode? Is she just lighting us up over here?
Why?
I keep smelling fart, but just little tiny fart.
Probably.
Bitch. Stop eating your fucking chalupas and
Chalupa-cabras,
gorditas that you
gassy.
fucking used to advertise in the 90s.
You sure it's just not you?
No. It'd be way worse if it was me. We all know I'm dying from the inside. So, yeah. So who'd pretend he had Bell's palsy and fucking seizures?
Well, who hasn't it?
Doing a Dahmer, just having a little silly joke time at school.
That
Teacher pissed her pants and called 911. Ha, doing a Dahmer.
That would change. The Dahmer has a new meaning here.
I mean, really, he's like Andy Kaufman. He's a comedian ahead of his time.
Well, that's the thing. When you're either going to be a serial killer or a comedian. Take your pick. It could go either way.
Yeah, kind
You got
of.
a 50-50 shot.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I've said that multiple times. Like I feel like I could have gone down the road of like just not giving a fuck and possibly killing somebody, or not even killing myself, killing somebody, but just like not giving a fuck that I just break all the laws and I just ended up in prison.
I think we've all been.
But instead, I just decided to be a fucking workhorse that cracks jokes and like hurts himself and laughs. Well, doesn't hurt himself on purpose, but gets hurt and laughs about it and is just, a harmless psycho.
And a phenomenal podcaster.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Logitech. Anyway.
I guess I could do that real quick, but fuck.
So where was I? Okay. In 1977, this is when Dahmer's parents decided to divorce. They had been arguing a lot from jump, and on top of that, they did try counseling. Obviously, that didn't work very well. And Lionel also found out that his wife engaged in a short affair.
Oh, that biatch. Cheating whore.
I mean, it happens, but fully understand why you want to break up after that.
Yeah, that's just something.
I'm not here to judge anybody. I think it's kind of a fucked up thing to do, but, your son ended up being the most well-known serial killer in the history of the United States. You gotta drown your sorrows in somebody's fucking donger. Lionel was busy fucking splitting atoms. He wasn't. See, if he was splitting her fucking atoms, then it wouldn't be a problem.
That was a long way to go for that fucking joke.
It wasn't a joke until I started talking.
The shit just comes to you.
Yeah, I've given up on writing my one-liners in. They're not as good.
No, they're better off the cuff.
Goddamn right. Just like fucking Lionel's wife was. Off his cuff.
She was on somebody else's cuff.
Links. Which are sausages. Penis, adultery.
Phallic looking. I'm following you along. I'm following. I can follow your
picking up
your
what I'm putting down.
Yeah,
you smelling what I'm cooking?
I can follow
if you smell what Dahmer will be cooking later on in this episode when we continue,
or boiling, one of the two,
amongst other things. So yeah, because of this, his dad moved out of the house in early 1978.
He left the cheating whore.
Good job, man. So we jump ahead. Here we go. We get a little bit of a taste, a little taste of the Dahmer, the Dahmer. So in 1978,
the big D.
3 months after graduating, Jeffrey was living in the family home by himself.
Which is an interesting. I mean,
that's a good start.
I mean,
kids totally aren't going to do stupid shit.
What possibly could go wrong when we got a 17-year-old living by himself?
Yeah, I feel like I was like the only high school kid that didn't have a party in my dad's house when he wasn't there.
Who already has a drinking fucking problem.
Right.
I mean, I don't see what could go wrong.
Yes.
Where the fuck is child services now? You leave a kid alone in a car for 3.5 minutes.
And you're getting butt fucked by the fucking rule book. Which, I agree with that shit. If it's fucking 90 degrees, don't leave your kids and your dogs in the car. They just fucked up. Leave it running. Take them inside. Do something.
Here's how.
Don't be a dick. Give them a fucking fan and a bottle of water.
I was always paranoid of that shit. When I was when my oldest was a baby after my first child, I was paranoid. You know, because this was 98-ish, and that was big news back then. That shit was going on like all the time. Kids dying in cars. I was fucking paranoid. I would like forget to take her because that was my job. Got the little shit ready, even baby, and took her to daycare.
You'd stop at the gas station to get cigarettes and leave her in there for like 48 seconds. And you come out and she's like noticeably smiling and laughing through the window, and you forgot that you left her in there. You like take off your fucking your Justin ostrich skin cowboy boot and like throw it directly at the window she's standing in front of and just shatter auto glass all in her face. Like, are you okay? She's like, I was, you fucking asshole. I was just sitting here jamming to my goddamn Mickey Mouse fucking CD, and you threw a goddamn fucking 3-inch stiletto at my head.
But I was paranoid of that shit.
I mean, rightfully so, especially with your first kid.
I get to work.
Not that you should do it with. I'm not saying it's better to leave your second kid in the car.
Second kid, you don't give a fuck.
But yeah, like everybody's fucking paranoid and scared of shit with their first kid.
I would like drop her off at daycare, get to work, and I'd check. Was she in the car?
Yeah.
Then at that time, I.
I still do shit like that.
You know
how many times I check that a door is locked when I lock, like before I go to bed or something. I do it no less than 7 times.
But I count.
But I'm pretty sure I have like OCD or honestly, like I've thought about like I might have like Asperger's or something like that.
You're on the spectrum for sure,
dude. Like I do. Like I find I'll just like randomly chime in like pop my head, like my something in my brain will pop and I'll realize like I'll be taking out trash at work, which I work in a restaurant, so like if I'm opening and I'm taking out trash around 4 when I leave, that's my trash, any trash in the kitchen that needs to go out, and all of the boxes that were created that day. So I could be taking 3, 4, 5 trips. And I'll be out there like about to throw my cigarette and realize I'll be like 135 steps. I've counted every step that I've taken to and from the dumpster on every fucking trip that I've been out here. I do it all the time. Like I count stairs. I automatically count stairs no matter what.
Yeah, you got a little Rain Man going on.
It's weird. I wasn't always like that though. It literally happened in the last like 2 years.
But I would literally I
also stopped smoking a lot more weed. I smoke a lot less weed during that time period.
I'm sorry.
So maybe I was dumbing down my dumbed downedness.
Yes, but I would fucking, be out the day because at that time I didn't work at a single location. I'd be out on the road. I'd be driving.
Oh yeah, when you were a lot lizard.
No, I owned a
landscaping
company and I was out on the road.
That's what they call it.
Yes, but I was like, did I drop her off at daycare?
Dude, right? Did I drop her off at daycare, or is that weird sound that I thought I heard from my trailer behind my truck her tiny little head bouncing off the wheel well?
But here's how bad I am about it. I still, not so much.
I know where you're coming from. I have literally like thought I heard something or something when I was driving and like gone around the block and come back and driven by like, okay, there's no dead children. We're good.
But I was in the car back, last year, 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, with my youngest, who is now.
Pardon me on the fucking audio. That was probably gross.
She is.
But it's cold. Fuck you.
She's out of high school. She's graduated. She's 18. Going. Yeah.
You are 16. Going on 17.
She is an adult. And
no, not. Is it legally even an adult? If you can't buy cigarettes until you're 21, what the fuck?
But we went somewhere, and we were pulled into the gas station, and I said, come on, let's go. She goes, I'll stay in the car. And I was like, no, you're not staying in the fucking car.
Did you go to, have you ever gone to check for her, but she's an adult now, so like instead of like your reaction you would have had when she was a little kid, you go to like check for her, but since she's an adult, she's closer to you because she's bigger, you just like face palm her fucking head into the window on accident?
No, I've never done that.
Like, sorry.
Sorry.
Good to see you were okay until I got my hands on you.
But I would literally say, no, you're not staying in the car by yourself. And she's 17, 18 years old.
Lock the fucking doors.
And
we're in Liberty Center. Lock the fucking doors. That guy in the yellow Maserati could be coming back at any time.
There's a white minivan right down the street. I saw it. We passed it.
It had windows. That's erroneous. You don't know. They could have the blinds on the inside.
That's true. All right, let's get back to Dahmer. We've sidetracked enough of this shit.
I don't even I gotta find where I was. Okay, got it. Oh yeah. So he was living alone in the family home in 1978, and on June 18th, he picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Mark Hicks, who was on his way to a concert in Chippewa Lake Park. Chippewa. And he got him to come back to the home with the promise of a few beers, bro.
Work on me.
That's a pretty good way to do it. So after a few hours of drinking and listening to music, when Hicks wanted to leave, Dahmer hit him in the head with a 10-pound dumbbell a couple times, and then used the dumbbell to strangle him. And then he stripped his body, and he explored his chest and hands, and then stood over his corpse while he masturbated.
Wait a minute. Did you say he explored his chest?
Yeah.
It was a fucking dude. There should be no chest to be exploring.
Well, if you're gay, the human body is the human body. If you find it attractive, you find it attractive. It's just like anybody else. We've all done it where you sit there and like you trace the fucking little lines of their muscles or whatever. Maybe like twirl their chest hair.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I do to myself.
No, you don't, because you're Asian. You have no chest hair.
Don't act like we've all done something of that sort. Don't act like you've never woken up in the middle of the night and taken a piss and you started to like scratch your belly and then you just kind of tickled it because you're like,
No.
Am I the only one?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'm fucking weird. Who'd have thought? So
we might need to rethink this partnership.
You just fucking glanced over the even weirder part.
What?
After he did that, he stood over the corpse while he masturbated. He bukkakied him.
You know,
I don't know how.
I don't think they offer that cream pie on Pornhub.
It's outside. It's not a cream pie.
I know.
I'm trying to think of something. I got nothing. I got no porn, dead people porn references. I don't want.
I haven't searched that on Pornhub. I will do that later on tonight.
So the next day, he dissected Hicks' body in the basement and buried him in the backyard. Good stuff. A few weeks later, he dug him up and removed the flesh from his bones and used acid to dissolve the flesh and flushed that shit down the toilet. Yeah.
Where does one go buy acid?
Right? I thought that throughout the fucking dictation of all of these notes.
I mean,
like literally, like multiple different kinds of acid. Well, this one, I can't remember, Soilex or something like that. I think is what he started with. I don't. It's a combination of multiple things. I think you can buy it at like a hardware store back then.
Huh? I mean,
but it does graduate to other shit that I was like, how the fuck?
I mean, where does one go about? I'd obviously be a shitty serial killer.
I don't know. Maybe he was cool with Ted Kaczynski.
Maybe.
Wrong time period. Well, no, not really. Ted Kaczynski was a fucking fascinating human being. Just due to his massive level of intelligence.
And plus he's MK Ultra.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that was all.
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt that.
No,
he was smart as shit.
Well, Kaczynski was right about a lot of shit.
Yeah.
His manifesto predicted a lot of the shit that's going on right now.
Yeah.
He was a visionary.
So
a little crazy, but a visionary.
So around this time, he also crushed the bones with a sledgehammer, scattered them in the woods behind his house.
That seems like way too much work.
From what I read, I believe it was this one that said that whole process took him like 2 hours.
That's dedication.
That's what I'm saying. He was on the ball.
I don't even have that kind of follow-through.
I can't even like jerk off, take a shit, and take a shower in 2 hours. I need 2 hours just to play with my nipples and get myself ready. Light a couple candles, spend an hour and 42 minutes or scrolling through suggested videos at the bottom of the video that I've chosen on the porn website just because I'm like, oh, that one looks good.
Well, I'm glad you were heavy on the foreplay with yourself.
Oh, yeah. I like to punch myself in the taint a couple times.
Ow.
Put my belt around my neck, Robin Williams style.
David Carradine.
Robin Williams didn't kill himself. Personal opinion.
Neither did Chris Cornell or Chester
Pennington? No, they did not. I do not think they did. Neither did if they killed themselves, so did Jeffrey Epstein. But I digress. So, August 1978, Dahmer enrolled in the Ohio State University, only to drop out after 3 months.
Hey, wait a minute. We live in Ohio. Fuck you for saying the. It's the You hoity-toity.
I'm not from Ohio.
Hoity-toity.
I'm not a fuck eye. I
hate
don't know.
that shit. The bunch of douchebags.
Anybody who decides to put the only one that should put a the or the in front of it is Miami, and it's just because they are known as the U.
And they say the U. It's not the U.
Yeah, who gives a shit? We're arguing semantics here.
Ohio State. I don't dislike Ohio State, but you fucktards quit saying the.
Fair enough. So, again, in August 1978, he enrolled in Ohio State University. I didn't even write down what he majored in because within 3 months he was gone because all he did was fucking get drunk.
Well,
yeah, he had like a .04 GPA or some shit like that.
His blood alcohol level was higher.
Yeah, he just failed every fucking thing.
But then again, who hasn't been there? I've been to college. My alcohol level was higher than my GPA.
I didn't go to college until I was like 22 or 23. So anyway, January 1979, Dahmer enlisted in the U.S. Army.
It sounds like.
And if you know anything about Dahmer, he enlisted in the wrong fucking branch. He should have been in the Navy. You can sail the Seven Steves in the Navy. You can put dudes on their knees in the Navy. You'll get semen in your eye.
Wow, how long did it take you to think of that one?
I just did that off the top.
Ah, fuck. All right.
Well, I'm just saying, he's the murderous version of a Village People.
That's a stereotype, damn it.
Oh, well. We'll be okay. Fuck that. It's okay to stereotype people like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, that's just like if I happen to make a certain joke about one of his professions later in life, I don't care. It's just like he also may have gotten raped at one point in his life. And good.
He did get raped at one point.
Yes, good.
But that story, are you going to
That's funny. It's actually funny. It's the only
karma is a motherfucking
It's the only
bitch.
time that I've found rape funny and been like, you know what, good.
Considering where he was at the time, what he was doing.
Yes. It's the only time I've ever been like, you know what, I'm glad you got raped.
Foreshadowed. He should have been used to it.
Yeah. Jesus. So, he went through training in Texas, and then he was deployed to Baumholder, West Germany, with the Nazis, with the Germans, if you will. And he was deployed as a combat medic. Go figure.
Well, he was good with a scalpel.
Yeah. Now.
And acid.
Yeah, and this was in 79. Now, by March of 1981, he was deemed unsuitable for military service because of his alcoholism and was honorably discharged because the military didn't see any of his issues to be a threat, to be a problem for the public. That's why he got an honorable discharge.
But I'm just saying, instead of putting serial killers in jail, put them in the Army. Let them kill for free. You want to kill? Here you go.
Yeah, but it's not like you can control who they kill.
Well, there's a risk to everything.
Okay.
I mean, how many drones have dropped bombs on fucking weddings?
Yeah.
So I mean, let's don't nitpick. We don't really give a fuck that much.
No, but I was about to make a fucking racist joke. I'm Asian. Am I allowed to do it? He's gonna nitpick a little bit later.
Oh, we are so fucking off YouTube here soon.
It's friendly fire. I don't find it offensive.
I don't think it matters.
I don't know. I've always said I hate that shit. I hate people that try to virtue signal me. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I don't find derogatory Oriental terms to be offensive. I don't give a fuck. They don't bother me. Everybody else gets offended for you now. It's so stupid.
I know.
Anyway, so March 24th, 1981, after debriefing from the military, Dahmer was given a plane ticket to a destination of his choosing, but he felt that he couldn't face his father because of his discharge, and he went to good old Miami Beach, Florida. He took his fucking talents to South Beach like LeBron.
Well, Dahmer's got real talent.
DeBron.
I mean,
DeBron Dahmer.
I think if you're going to be a serial killer, Miami would be the place to do it.
Worked out for Dexter?
Don't get me started on Dexter.
Yeah, I heard the new one sucks.
It sucks major balls.
Give it some time. You never know. I wasn't a fan of Mayans when it first started, but by like halfway through the first season,
we're going off topic here. It lost its magic.
Has no zeal in your heart.
It's not the same Dexter.
It's never going to be the same, though.
It's literally like a sequel. A sequel.
That's what it is.
But, most sequels, 99.9% of sequels suck.
Dick.
They never compare to the original. Now, this could have been really good. But they've changed so much, and Dexter's not fucking Dexter. Dexter, the original series, had a formula. They've shit-canned that formula. And plus, there's no Florida anymore. You don't get to see any bikinis.
Oh, is he not in Florida? I don't know. I haven't
No,
watched
he's
that
somewhere
shit.
in New York.
I haven't even seen like
upstate
every
New York.
episode of actual. The fuck? That's a big change.
Yeah.
I've been to upstate New York plenty of times. It's a pretty boring area.
Well,
Great for a guy like that, though, really.
That's apparently that's what they thought, but it's boring for fucking television.
Yeah, you just get in there with the Amish folk and like you're good to go.
I mean,
Go find somebody whose last name is Byler.
instead
You're
of
good to
saying
go.
we got snow. Okay, get back on topic. Fuck Dexter.
Alrighty then. Gather around, children. I'm going to read you a book like George Bush on 9/11. What? That was good television. That was good drama right there. You want to see some good drama? Watch the President of the United States actually get told that somebody drove a plane into the World Trade Center while he's reading to small children.
It was almost comical.
Like
his face. It was
yes,
like,
because I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fucking horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like the tragedies of that day were horrible, but like just to see that he just kind of,
his face.
I do not want green eggs, and then he points to it and hands it to the Secret Service guys. Ham. I do not want the...
Oh, it was watching his facial expressions.
Sam, I am.
Was funny.
I do not want it in a boat. I do not want to fuck a goat.
I don't think he said that to little kids.
I would have.
Oh, wait a minute, who are we kidding? He knew that shit was happening. It wasn't a surprise. That guy just whispered in.
9/11, there was... I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't put the blame on anybody because I can't tell you. But there's definitely something fishy about 9/11.
Oh, there definitely is. But
I won't directly put the blame on any one person because there's too much unknown from my point of view. Because you can't believe everything you hear and see. You know what I'm saying?
But
you feel me, dog?
Basically, what that guy whispered in his ear, it was like, the eagle
has landed.
The eagle has landed. The eagle collided into the big nest. No, we are joking. Don't get pissy.
Yeah, no, as much as I talk shit, like I'm proud to be an American, 'cause here I can talk my shit. If I was in the great land of Russia, they'd put out a hit on my big fat jab ass.
We're gonna have to...
And then I'd be dead as fucking Stockholm, even though that's not in Russia. Ain't no doubt Dahmer loves his man, 'cause he is super gay. Jesus Christ, I'm such a child. So he went to South Beach and he got a job at a deli and rented a room at a local nearby hotel. He continued his drinking habits and was eventually evicted from the hotel due to lack of payment. So what did he do? He spent nights on the beach drinking and continued to work at the deli.
Sounds like a good life.
Well, until eventually he did ask his dad if he could come back to Ohio. Excuse me, in September of 1987. 81, sorry. That's a really shitty one. And then 2 weeks later, he was arrested for drunken disorderly conduct after his dad failed to get him to stop drinking, and Dahmer was sent to live in West Allis, Wisconsin, with his grandmother, who happenstantially happened to be the only person in his family that he seemed to show any affection towards. Yeah. So because of this, they hoped that the relationship between them would help her be able to straighten Jeffrey up a little bit. Now, when he moved in, Jeffrey was helpful with his grandma and, doing chores and responsibilities and stuff like that. and he followed most of the rules, but he did continue to drink and smoke.
Well, of course he did.
Fuck you, Grandma. You're not my real mom, you bitch, and if you are, we got a real problem. This might explain a lot. So, we move forward to August 7th, 1982, when he was arrested for indecent exposure and indicted and convicted because but he was only fined $50 plus court costs because he exposed himself to a large group that included women and children.
Well, who hasn't?
You know,
Didn't he
you
actually,
mean Tuesday?
Didn't he actually say he was just urinating?
No, that's a different one.
Oh, okay.
In 1982, Dahmer got a job as a phlebotomist, but only had the job for 10 months before being laid off.
What is that for us dumb people?
I didn't even look it up. Something to do with blood work.
Okay.
Isn't a phlebotomist somebody that takes blood, like draws blood and shit? I think it is.
I don't fucking know. That's why I asked.
I don't know. I'm the one telling the story. You're the one running Google, fucker.
I
believe a phlebotomist draws blood.
You obviously put too much emphasis on my intelligence.
I could be wrong. I am dumb and fucking fat and ugly, but I believe a phlebotomist is like somebody, like if you go to give blood at a blood drive.
I know what a hippopotamus is.
Hip Hop Anonymous?
Yes.
Hip Hop? Damn you, you give him all the easy ones. So he was then unemployed, living off money that he got from his grandmother for about 2 years. Good guy.
Well, Jesus Christ, how much did she make on Social Security? Damn.
He's a great guy. And then we get to January 1985. He was hired as a mixer at the Milwaukee Ambrosia Chocolate Factory.
Yay, we're at the chocolate factory.
We're going to go ahead and just keep moving before somebody makes the obvious joke here.
I just want to know, this is a shitty golden ticket to get.
All I know is Jeffrey Dahmer was packing fudge.
In more ways than one.
So many ways. So many ways from what I understand, about 200 different people over the course of his life.
Hey, I'm all down.
How he didn't get fucking syphilis.
And think about it. This was
free
AIDS.
love, bro.
How did this motherfucker not?
Yeah, that's right. It was the mid '80s.
Yeah.
Huh.
How did this fucker not catch AIDS?
I mean, I guess it wasn't totally fucking stupid. So shortly after, he started to frequent Milwaukee's gay bars, gay bathhouses, and bookstores, which I didn't know until this. That I guess Milwaukee had a big gay scene in the '80s.
Bookstores.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they're like porn shops. I'm guessing.
I mean, I would hope. God, I would hope.
Oh, there's another one. Another interesting one. He also stole a mannequin from a store that he used as jack-off fuel until his grandma found it and made him throw it away. Yeah. He used to jack off to a mannequin. The first thing it made me think of was, what was the fucking mannequin head's name that Al Snow had in WWE?
Oh, fuck. oh. Damn it.
Right? That's the first thing I thought of. The one that said "help me" backwards on it.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. What was the name of that?
I don't remember. It was like it was a mix between that or like what is so that's his Wilson. Wilson.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
So, as I said, he particularly started to frequent the. God damn, the glare off of that thing is real. Started to frequent the bathhouses and have sexual encounters. Oh, look, what's up? Lamont likes your gray beard.
Thank you, Lamont. I'm glad somebody likes it.
So at this point, he specifically, I guess, started frequenting the bathhouses and having sexual encounters. But he was... This is so dark. I don't know why I'm laughing at it. He was getting frustrated by the fact that his partners were able to move.
Well, I agree. You don't want your partners to move.
I disagree.
No. Well, we'll get to that later.
I don't think that's anything we need to get to.
I'm just saying you don't want to fish out of water. You want to be controlled movement.
I don't know. Like what? Like they reach up like, "I love you, Jeffrey." He's like, "Stop, you fucking douche." Literally lay there. Don't make any noise.
Obviously he didn't like fucking his sexual partners to move because he jacked off the dead guys.
Yeah.
So
on them, actually, on one of them, I still can't think
he
of a way
came
to
on
mix
his man
death
tits.
into bukkake. Except bukkake with 2 O's. Bukkake.
Fuck it, I need to drink.
He was the ghostest with the mostest. Semen on his chest.
Fuck me running.
So because he was getting irritated by the fact that his sexual partners in the bathhouses could move, he started to drug them with liquor mixed with alcohol.
Liquor mixed with liquor.
Oh, God.
Fuck,
I was doing so well. I got through like 6 pages of notes without a major fuck up.
Did you just drug me? I think this is liquor and alcohol.
We both know I don't. Everybody here knows I don't have to drug you to put my penis in your butt.
Am I dead? Are you going to kill me?
No, because then who's going to do all the editing?
That is true. I have a question, though. You have to be very...
Sorry.
Don't be rubbing up on me right now, bitch.
There's fucking 2 6-foot plus, like, 245, 250 plus men in the same area. I'm just guessing because I know you're taller than me.
I'm not taller than you, not anymore.
Well, technically,
but no, I'm about 236.
Either way, okay.
I might be about 240.
2 6-foot plus over 200-pound men. Yeah, we're gonna run into each other here and there.
But no, getting back to this.
Getting back to bathhouses and butt sex.
Right.
God intended.
Is there a big Russian mafia scene in Milwaukee?
No,
Because I think you have to be really picky about the bathhouse. We know I don't think that gay shit would go over very well in a Russian bathhouse.
Well, from what I understand, they became a thing, and then the gay community in certain cities picked up on what it was, and then there's kind of divide. And you had different types. You had, like, social bathhouses, and then you had, like, cultural ones.
But I'm just saying, if you went in thinking this bathhouse was a gay bathhouse.
Well, I mean, that's how the original bathhouse was, really.
But it was
back in, like, the Greek and Roman times?
Then it turned out it was a Russian mob bathhouse where they did their business. That'd get a motherfucker killed.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's how bathhouses became to be a thing. But back then, instead of fucking each other, they were fucking small boys.
Well, probably still are, but that's a different issue. That's
I'm
a topic for another day.
Yeah, okay. But it was like fucking known back in the olden days.
All right, continue with the bathhouses and gay bar scene and gay bookstores.
So, yeah, he started drugging people because he got tired of them moving around while they're fucking. So he started drugging with sedatives, and he had his membership to the bathhouse revoked after about 12 of these incidences.
12?
12.
Okay.
They said approximately
11
12.
is good. You've crossed the line with the 12th.
We can't get to it. Even numbers are not good. We don't like those.
You better do 2 at a time and get it to 13 real quick.
God damn it. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
What? We lose our
12. Spot. No, 12. Like, why is 12 the deciding factor? A dozen's the cutoff.
I personally would go with
1.
You hit more than 2. You hit the number 2. You're gone.
1. If I can guarantee you did it once.
You know, it's easy to drug somebody with alcohol and liquor and alcohol.
Bathhouse? Are they serving it in the bathhouse? That's my question. Are they serving the alcohol in the bathhouse?
I would imagine.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never been to a bathhouse.
Don't lie to our viewers.
I'm not big on public nudity.
Pussy. So in September 8th, 1986, Dahmer was arrested and charged with, here we go, this is what you were talking about, with lewd and lascivious behavior for masturbating in front of 2 12-year-old boys by the Kinnickinny River. But he said he was just taking a old fat fucking piss. And he actually later admitted to these charges and received a year of probation with mandatory counseling. He jacked off in front of 2 12-year-old boys and got a year of probation with counseling.
Well, you know.
The justice system is really fucking just pouring on the good decisions already.
And they still are.
Yeah.
Things never change.
Oh, Rittenhouse.
Oh, don't.
He's not guilty.
Oh, well, absolutely not.
I do think it would have. I don't think that he deserved a guilty charge, but I also think it's bullshit because I think if he was a black male, I think it would have gone a little differently.
Well,
If the cops would have rolled up on a black guy with an AR, it would have gone a lot differently. Especially in that situation.
Well, in that situation, the cops weren't doing anything anyway. That's why. I mean, that was. We'll get political. Fuck you if you don't like it. That was self-fucking defense.
Yes, but if it was a 6'3" dude with dreads, it might not have gone so well for him.
I can't disagree, but I mean that's also an assumption. Given the scenario that was going on,
you could tell just by how they rolled up, though. You'd be able to know from rip. Like with that house kid, they were all like, "Skyler, put down the gun," then they roll up. Jamal, put down the burner. It's not worth it. Like, no.
But let's be honest. The cops were doing nothing with that. They were jacking themselves off. They stood down.
That's because they were scared. Not scared for like their well-being. They were scared to do anything.
Well, those cops.
Which honestly, like even if he had gone to trial for it and gotten off, I feel like that I wouldn't have faulted that one of those cops if they would have fucking capped that dude in the leg one time.
I see.
Given what's going on around you, and you have even a white guy turn around with an AR, you just shit.
I mean, it was a fucked up situation. But here's my issue. The way it was covered, the way that whole thing was covered was fucking nothing but lies.
I don't know. My whole issue is stay your dumb ass at home. You had no reason to be there in the first place.
Well, he was from there. He worked there. But
what do you have to lose?
That's like if the bar was burning down. Rioting was going up here, and they were getting ready to torch the bar.
Bye.
See, I don't think I'd take an AR there, but
it ain't my shit on the line.
But say,
like, I love where I work and everything, but it ain't my shit.
Say it was during opening. They were open at the time, and maybe there were people in there that that we both know that we both consider friends. You gonna sit around and do nothing? I don't see.
But I'm the first person to be like, I'm realistic. I'll be like, take whatever the fuck you want. Ain't nobody here to do shit to you.
But my whole point is the media covered this so wrong. He did not kill. He did not shoot one black person. All them motherfuckers were white.
Well, I mean, color has nothing to do with it. He didn't shoot anybody, period.
Oh, he shot.
Well, he didn't shoot anybody outside of the realm of not being imprisoned for it.
Well,
which is the only thing in question.
3 people got shot. 2 died.
Yeah, the only thing in question was whether or not it was within the realm of self-defense,
which
honest. All of it was. Which that's a whole different level of killing.
And let's be honest, one of those motherfuckers that got shot, he deserves a medal for. The motherfucker just got out of jail for fucking a kid in the ass.
Oh yeah, he never should have been alive anyway.
He should have been fucking killed in prison. So the motherfucker, he deserved to die. I say good job, Kyle. Now the other 2, whatever, self-defense. But I go back to the old Sam Elliott and Roadhouse. A man sticks a gun in your face, you got 1 or 2 options. Die or kill the motherfucker. And he chose option B.
Coors.
But
the banquet beer.
I just, it's sad across the board. That whole fucking thing was sad.
I just think it
should have never come to that. No.
And I do think that people can argue one way or the other, but I do think it helps shed some light on the fact that I do stand by the fact that I don't think if that kid happened to be a black dude, his night would have not have gone quite the same.
I don't know. I understand, but I don't know because the cops weren't doing fucking nothing anyway. They were jacking themselves off. They were standing down. They were just burning the fucking city down. Go ahead, whatever.
Yeah, but there also wasn't, for the most part, black people walking around with ARs on their chest.
No, they were walking around with fucking guns. There were guns.
Yeah, not.
But that's what people make AR, and that pisses me off about fucking ARs. Everybody says an AR-15 is an assault rifle. There's no. AR does not stand for assault rifle. You dumb motherfuckers.
I know, but still, like when you have a shoulder mounted gun on your chest, as opposed to having one that you can't see, one is more dangerous than the other. It's a thing, but one is more intimidating.
It's a thing called the Constitution, motherfuckers.
Yeah, but that is not the time.
I'd much rather be able to see a fucking gun than having.
I agree, but that was not the time. That was not the time to go out like that with that hot head state.
I have an issue with rioting.
I don't give a shit as long as you're not hitting the mom and pops. Honestly,
no,
like, if you're kicking the windows in on Target, go for it. I don't give a shit.
Well, no, if you're burning shit down, fuck you twice.
See, that's what I'm saying. If it comes to affect somebody who's not nationally insured, because like I said, I don't give a fuck about what the riot or whatever you want to call it is. It is over. If people want to go fuck up Walmart, I don't fucking care.
No. Where am I going to get my shit?
Target or the other Walmart that's 4 miles the same distance in a different direction.
I need my Chinese shit.
But that's always been my thing. Is like just leave the mom and pops alone.
I just have an issue with burn.
Like go to Starbucks. I don't give a fuck. Knock down Starbucks. I don't care.
Take
all the donuts
when
out of
the football team
Dunkin'.
wins a Super Bowl, I fucking get pissed off at the motherfuckers that burn the city down then for winning.
See, that's even stupider. If you're gonna riot, at least do it behind something, not a W.
Like, goddamn, relax, fucking people. No.
Anyway, really, it's just Black Friday without the sales.
Fuck you twice. God damn it. Oh, you're fucking killing me.
I saw a meme today that cracked me the fuck up. It was one of those like walls of people going into the store. It was like, I don't know what it is, but it's on sale. Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know.
Welcome to America.
I just don't know. Let's get back to Dahmer.
The land of fucking Black Friday sales, inequality, and misunderstood everybody's.
Let's get back to cannibalism. We don't need to be talking about fucking rioting in Wisconsin. Of course, it is Wisconsin. Some fucked up shit goes on in Wisconsin, obviously.
Oh, God.
I say fuck it. Burn the entire state to the ground. Fuck it.
Let's jump ahead a little bit again. October 20th, 1987, Dahmer met 25-year-old Stephen Tuomi. Whatever. No offense. R.I.P. R.A.H. At a bar, and he convinced him to return to the Ambassador Hotel with him. When Dahmer woke, he was laying on top of Tuomi, whose chest was crushed in and was black and blue, with blood coming from the corner of his mouth, and Dahmer's hands and forearms were seriously bruised.
Is this one he blacked out?
Yeah, he claimed to have no memory of it, and also claimed that he had no intention of hurting or killing.
I just think the sex was a little wild, baby.
Clearly. So, Dahmer moved his body to his grandma's house in a big ass suitcase.
Where the fuck was Grandma?
That just keeps getting worse. Actually, that was a big question in my mind.
I mean, how old and senile was she? Jesus Christ!
So a week after that. A week after moving the body to Grandma's house, he cut off the head, arms, and legs, filleted the flesh from the bones, cut it into small, manageable pieces, and destroyed the bones with a sledgehammer. He kept the head for 2 weeks before boiling it in a mixture of Soilex and bleach so he could keep the skull. But he also used the skull as a stimulus for jerk-off material so he could jerk off to it. But eventually had to destroy it because the bleach had made it too brittle. Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Now, I do have this side note. His drugs of choice to drug people were triazolam and temazepam. Boom.
Okay, that tells me a lot.
And this is where we get... It takes off so fucking fast with this guy. So we have that one. 2 months later, Dahmer offered 14-year-old Native American prostitute. So let's not leave out the fact, yes, he is a serial killer and a serial rapist. He is also a pedophile. So fuck him all the way.
This is what I really did.
If hell is real, I hope that Satan just butt fucks him every day.
From, doing what little research I did on this, basically listening to the podcast, I did not realize, at the time, I was, when the whole Dahmer trial went down, I was right out of high school. I was in college. Well, I was in my 20s, earlier 20s. I was not aware of his pedophilia. That a lot of these victims, or not victims, but the fascination with young boys.
Well, let's be real. When you get to something so heinous as what he did, and even without the age thing, the media tends to drop the most heinous part of it to make it more viewable for their audience. Because it's all about the ratings for the news.
Well, see, that was a different fucking time back then.
Oh, yeah, rape and molestation and shit is normal now.
But no,
I don't want to say normal. It's... And I also don't want to say it's to be expected. It's just, it's not as big of a thing as it used to be.
Let's be honest, the cannibalism of this whole thing, which you'll get to, threw off the reporting of it. That was all anybody ever focused on back then. It was
because I mean it's the same as they would now, because it's fucking crazy. People eating people is fucking crazy.
You gotta eat. You're hungry. You're hungry.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, if shit goes down,
did they have?
You're feeding me for a while. Bitch.
Did they have Hungry Man dinners in the 80s and 90s? They do now, and they did back then. They just didn't come in a blue box. They came in. I don't know, Wrangler jeans and.
I'm walking out on this show. Fuck this.
Why?
Because I gotta piss.
Oh. Should I just keep going?
Keep going. I know the story.
Okay.
So, I lived the story.
2 months later, Jeffrey offered 14-year-old James Doxtator, who was the 14-year-old native prostitute, $50 to come with him to take some nude photos. They had some sexy times of some sort, and before he drugged James and strangled him. Good job, Jeff. Basically used the same disposal technique as his first victim after leaving his body in the basement for a whole week. Next, March 24th, 1988, 22-year-old bisexual man named Richard Guerrero outside of a gay bar called The Phoenix. Great name for a gay bar. Not talking about gay people. Gay bars are fucking the shit. Gay people partied. Now, Dahmer offered him $50 to spend the night with him, and then drugged him and strangled him with a leather strap. He performed oral on the corpse. Hot. Dismembered within 24 hours. What else? He trashed the remains and destroyed the skull months later. April 23rd. Dahmer brought another drugged young man to his grandmother's house, but when he realized that she knew he was not alone, he actually waited for the man to go unconscious and then dropped him off at the local hospital in fears of whatever the fuck, because God forbid Grandma finds out or some crazy shit happens. Now, Jeffy, let's jump ahead again. Holy fuck. It takes off quick. September 27th, 1988. Dahmer was arrested for drugging and sexually fondling a 13-year-old boy after having him, or luring him to his house to take nude photos once again. That was his MO, offering people $50 to take nudes. Which, I mean, I'm thinking, like, in the 80s, that's good money. Fuck.
Hell, I'd do it for a lot less. I'd do it for at least $25.
There's fucking OnlyFans accounts you can get it for $1.
I'm a cheap whore, though.
So he pled guilty in January of 1989, and between conviction and sentencing, moved back in with his grandma and murdered 24-year-old aspiring model Anthony Sears, who he met at another gay bar. They performed oral sex on one another. He drugged him and strangled him. I will say, my notes on some of these do get a little more sparse because it's
the same fucking thing, right?
Offer of something, possible sex, drug, strangulation. That's pretty much the
rinse and repeat.
Now, he did blow the corpse on the one guy. And he also jacked off on the dead body of the first guy.
Yeah.
So he's got some real, like, German Pornhub channel vibes going on here.
I mean, he liked the dead fuck.
Fuck me dead, as they say in Australia. So this body he decapitated in the bathtub, disposed of the body in the trash as usual. But since he found Sears, quote unquote, exceptionally attractive, he preserved his head and genitalia in acetone and kept it in the jar, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, in his work locker until he got his own place the following year. Yeah. Jump ahead. March 23rd, 1989. He's convicted and given 5 years probation with work release.
You got a year. Didn't he get a year with work release?
For the 13-year-old Fond du Lac.
Right.
Fun. Yeah, good stuff.
Great. This is a good part.
We love to hear it.
Get to this. This is a good part.
May 1990, Dahmer killed male prostitute Raymond Smith, photographed the body in suggestive positions, and dismembered and, quote-unquote, deboned him, if you will.
Huh.
Yeah. Dissolving the flesh to the point that he could rinse it off of the bones down the sink.
He had to shit down to the science, man.
Literally.
Thank you, Daddy.
Yeah. He then spray painted the skull and placed it beside the skull of Mr. Sears. Yeah. About a week later, Dahmer lured another young man into his apartment, but he accidentally drank the drugged drink himself and was subsequently robbed of about $300, a watch, some other shit, and was fucked and raped by that man. Good.
So
again, I've said it earlier, the only time I have and the only time I probably will ever say I am glad somebody got drugged, robbed, and raped is when Jeffrey Dahmer did it.
But think about this. This situation. He was drugged. He fucked up. For one, Dahmer was a babbling buffoon. He was a buffoon. He's the worst serial killer.
You think he did that fucking like old 80s movie thing where he's like...
Probably. But think about it. He drugged himself on accident. Dumbass. He got robbed and raped while he was on work release, so he had to wake up and go back to fucking jail.
Yeah. Stupid dumb idiot.
Does anybody else find that fucking hilarious?
It's amazing.
And then he had to go back to jail.
That is the only good rape I know of.
But let's be honest, he was probably used to it. I'm sure the nighttime loving at the county jail or state, whatever prison he was in, I'm sure he had plenty of.
Well, no, I've had this conversation before because I've had gay friends, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, gay guys love jail." No, it's the same thing. Like, against your will is against your will, and as we all know, since he didn't like his sexual partners to move,
well, it sounds like
I doubt that he was a catcher.
Yeah, I don't think he was a power bottom. He was not Aleister Crowley.
Yes, bottom, I guess, is a better, more politically correct term.
He was not Aleister Crowley.
No,
he liked to lay the pipe, not receive
the pipe. He was giving thine dick to them.
Yeah,
while they were dead.
He was a selfish lover. He was a selfish.
I mean, it's easy to be
lover.
selfish when they're fucking dead.
That is true.
Yeah. So once again, only time I'll ever be like, yay, rape.
Good job, rapist.
Yeah.
Only time you heard it here first. Only time you're going to hear it.
Yeah. June 1990, he lured and killed 27-year-old Edward Smith, storing his body in the freezer for several months, hoping that it would help the bones to not hold moisture, to make them more easily preserved and less brittle.
He was just doing this for science.
But he had eventually acidified the remains and accidentally exploded the skull in the oven trying to dry it out.
I'm telling you, he was a buffoon.
I think you would think that through.
Did the motherfucker put aluminum foil in a microwave too?
Probably.
God, he was a dumbass.
Probably didn't invent
this is why he went to Ohio
microwave
State
dinners and shit.
This is what kind of caliber Ohio State people.
Well, he was only there for 3 months.
Yeah, you gotta be a dumbass to basically fail out of Ohio State.
Now that being said, oh wait, this is a whole different one. Sorry, everybody. Less than 3 months later, Dahmer cut the throat of 22-year-old Ernest Miller.
Breaking MO though.
He kept his heart, parts of his biceps, and portions of his heart, his biceps, and parts of his legs for later consumption. He also painted and enamel coated the bones. So around this point, he starts photographing the process of dismembering bodies, which is another fuck up because it comes back to bite him in the ass because it helps police ID the bodies.
Well, actually, that's the first thing they fucking noticed. In that situation, when that shit happened.
Well, he uses, the person's not dead, but he uses these photos with the cops to get out of getting arrested later here shortly. Yeah. We'll talk about that fucking fiasco. So 3 weeks later, 22-year-old David Thomas, same thing. February 1991, 17-year-old Curtis Stodder. Same fucking thing. He's just out here strangling and fucking and,
drugging.
Yeah. There's so many, dude. Less than 2 months later, 19-year-old Errol Lindsay, he drilled a hole in this man's skull and poured hydrochloric acid into it, hoping basically for a sex zombie.
Okay. How stupid is this motherfucker?
Yeah. So he tried that, and when Errol woke up, confused, not a zombie, but confused, Dahmer strangled him and kept his skull, and made a failed attempt at skinning him and keeping the skin.
He obviously watched Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Because wasn't that 80... When did Silence of the Lambs come?
When did the 90s? I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
So
I will Google that shit.
Around this time, neighbors started complaining about the smell, which, you know, as stupid as he might be, Dahmer started telling the management of the building it was, one, that he had a freezer that had broken, and it was the rotting things inside the freezer, and also said, you ready for this one? This one's my favorite one.
I'm listening.
One of his exotic fish died.
The smell.
Yeah. How's that your fucking excuse? What kind of exotic fish are we talking about? Are we talking about an 800-pound fucking red-tailed catfish?
He's a fucking idiot. I'm telling you what.
My little tiny fish died, and it stinks bad enough that all my neighbors are noticing it. Sorry, boss. Have a good day.
Well, how shitty are the Wisconsin or whatever, Milwaukee fucking PD?
Oh, just wait. Because that's where we're at now. May 26th. Now we're hitting a little close to home. We're dealing with an Asian.
How dare him.
A 14-year-old Laotian teenager now named... I apologize if for some reason somehow his family sees this. I'm going to butcher this fucking name. Conorak Synthasamphone. Wait, hold on. Let me do it with an accent. Maybe it'll come up. Synthasamphone.
Better you than me.
Sinthasomphone. Synthasamphone. I guess. That's my best guess. Unless it's one of those ones like Euro where there's no letter or there's nothing in the English language.
What was his first name?
Conorak.
Just go with Conorak.
Sounds like a fucking really cool video game character. So, interesting story. The 13-year-old boy that he was convicted of molesting.
Yes.
Conorak Synthasamphone was the brother of that boy.
No shit.
Unbeknownst to Jeffrey Dahmer. Who the fuck is out there jamming Katy Perry?
That's me.
Go fuck yourselves.
I love me some Katy Perry.
God, what happened to the good old days when they listened to fucking mariachi covers of Achy Breaky Heart? You don't remember that one?
I remember the 4th of July.
That was sick.
Or was that Memorial Day? One of the two.
Or was it that little kid's birthday?
I don't remember. It's on the podcast. Go back and listen to it.
So,
people.
yeah, interesting. I found that fucking amazingly... I don't want to say funny, but funny.
It's
you know what I mean? Darkly funny.
Yes. But he needs to venture out in his killing pool.
Yeah. So,
killing fields are low.
So old Conorak, this 14-year-old child, Dahmer drugged him and performed oral sex on him, and then he drilled a hole in his head and injected hydrochloric acid into the frontal lobe of his brain. He led him to his room where the body of 31-year-old Tony Hughes laid naked on the floor from 3 days earlier. And apparently when he walked him in here, he said that Conorak seemed to notice but not acknowledge the fact that there was a naked 31-year-old dead man on the floor. Probably because he had fucking hydrochloric acid in his goddamn frontal lobe, you sick cock.
I would think that would kill somebody pretty instantly, I would think.
Well, it's not sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is a bad one.
Oh, is that what I said?
Sulfuric acid is the one that you see them like draw in like movies, and they're just like, nah!
Oh, yeah.
It depends on what it's on. Different acids eat different things.
I'm an idiot. I'm dumber than a box of rocks.
I'm not claiming to know everything. I don't know what type of physical effects hydrochloric acid would have on the human brain. I don't know.
Drilling a hole in somebody's head and putting anything in said hole is a bad idea.
Except your dick. Anyway, so he
left.
left.
To be a big-ass drill bit. Okay, I'm lying. Good half-inch.
What's that?
Half-inch diameter. Come on.
So
A little snub nose.
So after he did all this shit, he actually left and went to the bar to drink. And then
too.
in the wee hours of the next morning, he was coming home and he saw Conorak, naked, sitting on the corner, speaking in his native tongue of Laotian to 3 women. He tried to say that he was his friend and not to worry about it, but they frantically told him, like, yo, fuck you, dick nugget. We already called 911 because there's a naked 14-year-old here. And, like, there's a picture. How does this young man pass as being old enough to be just friends with a, what, at this point, 20 whatever the fuck year old man? You tell me that doesn't look like a 14 or younger kid? He looks like Dr. Jones. That's what he looks like. He looks like Data from the Goonies.
Was it the same actor?
Yes.
Okay.
The only famous Asian actor from the 80s, you mean?
And it was only 2 movies the motherfucker ever was in.
Yeah.
But they were classics. Oh,
Dr. Jones.
hold on. Go ahead. Continue.
So,
Mother.
you all right there, killer?
No, I got a cramp.
Oh. Yeah. So now we're on to like my research paperwork. I take this one pretty seriously.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, is it in your calf?
No, my quad or my hamstring.
Oh, those are the worst. They're hard to fucking stretch out.
I know. Great for fucking video.
Yeah.
We'll clip that fucking shit out. This will be a TikTok.
Oh God, do I have my pages out in order?
Oh, we are so fucked right now.
I do. Fuck. Oh no.
Oh, we've hit the rail.
Oh no.
We've hit the fucking rail.
There's so many pages too.
Crash and fucking burn.
Oh, I mean, I know the story. I just don't know like verbatim the story off the top of my head. Yeah, you walk it out. I'm gonna sit here and attempt to find this fucking missing page.
Motherfucker.
Oh, you gotta be dick fucking me. How do I miss a page in the middle of my note? Like, I wasn't even to that page in my research notes.
Way to be prepared.
That's crazy. That's fine. So, basically, what ended up happening with this story is the cops came because the girls called the cops because there's a fucking 14-year-old naked Laotian boy on the corner saying all this crazy shit in Laotian, and the cops roll up. 2 cops. Forget their names because I don't have 1 page out of almost 40 pages of research, not including my handwritten pages. 2 cops roll up. What's going on here, sir? Oh, don't worry about it. That's my friend. He's drunk. He's my lover. Oh, well, no, he's my lover. He's drunk. To the point, these cops help him take this kid back to his apartment. He shows them pictures of the kid, and he goes, oh, he's my boyfriend. See, we just did this. We took these naughty pictures. And they're like, yeah, I don't want to see that shit. And then one of them noticed the stink coming out of the house and went in to investigate and actually stuck his head in the bedroom and I guess just glanced so fucking effortlessly that he missed the body of another grown man in there. And he told him, oh, it's just my dead fish. And they said, and I quote this one, they said, all right, well, take good care of him. And they walk away. Those 2 cops lost their job.
Sure.
Yes, and then they filed a lawsuit. And they got their jobs back. And then they got Policeman of the Year for their valiant effort to get their jobs back. You want to talk about fuck the police. Fuck those police. Holy shit. You guys are just pieces of fucking just donkey fuck. Anyway.
Donkey fuck.
All right, I might be missing a murder here. I'm not going to lie because I am missing a whole page of research somehow. Oh. It's in the middle, too. Like, it's not the first page of the last page. It's page, 12 of 39 total. Not that I have that many pages to go through. Don't worry. Don't worry. We jump ahead to the next thing that I have.
I'm okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so July 15th, Dahmer ran into a 24-year-old man named Oliver Lacey at the corner of 27th and Kilbourne. And Dahmer, as usual, he offered Lacey the opportunity, probably some money involved, to pose nude for photographs for him. And he went back to his apartment, and they had some sexy time activities where, obviously, afterwards, what happened? Dahmer drugged him. Doop. But this time he wanted to prolong his time with this person while he was still alive.
Wasn't he really attracted to this one?
No, that was Sears,
Oh.
the aspiring model.
Oh, okay.
So he unsuccessfully tried to knock him out with chloroform, and then he called into work to take some time off.
Is he still working at the chocolate factory?
Again, this is the second time because the one I'm missing, he did it for as well to dismember the body. He called off work. This time he got suspended the next day.
Who's packing the fudge?
Yeah, Willie was not happy. He was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? The goddamn Oompa Loompas are on strike. There's somebody out here killing them and fucking them and drilling holes in their heads. Because if you didn't know, Oompa Loompas are just 14-year-old Laotians with green hair. God damn it, Jeff. What am I supposed to do here? You got me between a rock and a hard place. I'm fucking the pooch on this one. I gotta give you the day off. I can't work without you. Who's gonna make the everlasting knob stoppers?
I don't know.
So he subsequently, obviously, strangled Lacey. Of course. He had sex with the corpse. Hot. Dismembered him, as is tradition here. Placed his head and heart in the fridge and his skeleton in the freezer. 4 days after that, on July 19th, he received word that he had been fired. Fuck you, Jeff. When he got this news, he then lured 25-year-old Joseph Braidhoff to his apartment, and he was strangled and left dying on Dahmer's bed with a sheet over him for 2 days. After a couple of days, Dahmer removed the sheet and found the head was covered in maggots. So he cut the head off, cleaned the head, put it in the fridge, and then acidified the rest of the body, the rest of the torso, along with the 2 other victims that he killed within the previous months. Yeah. And here's where it kind of comes to a head and resolution happens a little bit. Starts to. So July 22nd, 91, Dahmer went up to 3 dudes and offered them $100 to come back to his apartment to pose for nude photos, as usual. Drink some beer and just, be bros. Just keep company. Be my gay bros. What?
Gay bros.
Gay guys can have gay platonic friends. There's nothing wrong with that. I have platonic female friends.
Yeah, but you're gay.
What do you mean?
You're gay.
If you have platonic female friends?
No, you're just gay.
I'm gay?
Yeah. You can come out to the least 5 people.
Why didn't you fucking tell me earlier? I've been doing it all wrong this whole time.
Okay, you're not gay. Continue.
My whole life would have been so much easier up to this point. Hey. What do you feed gay horses? Hey. Dad jokes. One of these guys, 32-year-old Tracy Edwards, actually agreed to this. Just 1 out of the 3. That's always a good sign. When one of the 3 decides to go and you don't feel like a fucking idiot while you're walking away from your friends, good fucking start.
But here's where Dahmer was brilliant in one aspect. He was very good at picking the people.
Oh, he was a talker like a motherfucker, apparently.
That were hard up. He was either very good or very lucky at reading the people that were hard up, that were desperate for a little do-re-mi, for a little playtime. I'm just saying. I'm trying to find a silver lining in this shit.
Need a little do-re-mi, so they take a little coxo la-ti-da.
Yes.
That was a bad one.
That was, but we're going to let it slide.
So when they got to his apartment, Tracy noticed several boxes of hydrochloric acid.
Should be red flag number fucking 1.
Which I guess Dahmer said that he used for cleaning bricks.
In an apartment.
Yeah. That's my hobby. I like to clean bricks.
Uh-oh.
Like Wreck-It Ralph. What?
Looks like our connections got a little spotty there for a minute.
Oh, fuck it.
Who gives a fuck? Nobody's watching it.
So
anyway.
after a little chitty chat, Jeffrey said, "Hey, look at my tropical fish." And what does he do while he does that? He slaps a handcuff on Tracy's left hand. And then they have a little struggle back and forth to get the other handcuff on, but he can't do it. But Tracy follows him into the bedroom. Or into the other room. Some people say, why the fuck is that a thing? But other people say that he had a knife. Which he did have a knife. It's just a question of when the knife came out.
Right. There was a butcher knife or something to that.
Which I would assume
right.
like he just had it. You know what I'm saying? If you're throwing the cuffs on him, why not have the fucking knife out at that point? This is the whole time where The Exorcist 3 was playing.
Which, that's the scariest thing of this whole story.
He loved The Exorcist
3. The worst Exorcist of all time.
2 wasn't very good.
Yeah, and they got progressively worse. 1 wasn't very fucking good.
The reboot was pretty cool.
So I haven't seen
the one in Africa?
I've not seen
that one was alright. From like 10, 15 years ago.
Maybe we'll cover that on the next
That one's
page.
not bad.
We might cover that on the next. We ought to actually watch Exorcist 3 for the Patreon horror movie.
Oh, I would love to just do some hokey, dumb fucking horror movie that we can just,
In honor of Jeffrey Dahmer, we should do a review of
Dahmer.
Exorcist 3.
Fair enough. Oh, on top of all this, Tracy also happened to notice the 57-gallon drum, the blue drum in the corner that just stunk to shit.
I mean, the place...
Man, that's a really nice, stinky 57-gallon drum, and those are really nice boxes of hydrochloric acid. What do you do for a living, bud?
I don't know. Kill people.
Jesus Christ. So, at that point, for sure, he pulled a knife on him. And he told him... He pulled a knife and was like, I'm going to take naked pictures of you. Basically. I was like, oh, okay. So, just to make him happy, he starts unbuttoning his shirt, going along with the whole thing. And, you know, he told him, if you'll take the handcuffs off, okay, let's do it. Like, but this is uncomfortable, which, fair. So he started watching TV, and Dahmer started rocking back and forth and chanting before he looked back at this dude. And then he placed his head on Tracy's chest and listened to his heartbeat with the knife pressed against him. And he told him that he had the intention of eating his heart.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's recap this scenario up to this point.
Yeah.
The man's seen acid, boxes of acid. The man has tried to handcuff him. Well, got one handcuff on. We have a fucking knife at play. I heard a butcher knife, so a big ass knife, but a knife nevertheless. Mm-hmm. How, if you let a motherfucker get that close to you after those things I just listed out, to put his head on your chest, you might deserve what you're gonna get, or what you should get. He doesn't get, but
no, Dahmer put his head on the other guy's chest, on Tracy's chest.
Right? Yeah.
What's he supposed to do? He also had a knife to his chest at the same time.
Knock him the fuck out. Because if I'm not, Tracy was a bigger guy. He wasn't a small. He was a fairly.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to. You have to think of the situation. Like, you're not always going to think clearly when you're stuck in that situation.
No, the motherfucker listen. Anybody pulls out the handcuffs and gets one on me, I'm out the fucking door. You ain't stopping my fucking ass.
Oh, even if you put the handcuffs on yourself, like, I'm dragging you with me.
Yeah, I mean,
you would have hoped that door locks from the outside or the end, like. Whatever.
Somebody's having a bad fucking day. If you whip out the fucking handcuffs,
yeah,
and you get one on me, all bets are off. I'm either Sam Elliott, the two options. You're going to kill me or I'm going to kill you. I'm out. I'm leaving one way or the other. Either in a body bag or just on my own legs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, but if you get to that point, and even with a fucking knife, I mean, for him to get that close, he's right the fucking there. Grab his head and right there. Think about it.
Yeah.
Back head right there. Uppercut right to the fucking nose. I'm just saying. Throat punch.
Yeah.
Stick a thumb up his ass. Do fucking something. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I'm clipping like a motherfucker. I'm riled up now, bitches.
Okay, so, and then over the next period of time, Dahmer's watching TV. You know, this guy's trying to make plans, keeps asking to go to the bathroom pretty regularly, and he keeps getting permission. So he's basically just using that time to scope out his environment, see where's what. Like, there's AC here, the door's there, blah, 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 blah. And, this goes on for a while, and he asks to go to the bathroom again, and he notices at this point that Dahmer's just kind of he doesn't have the handcuffs in his hand, and he's not really paying attention fully. So this dude fucking whops him in the face and makes a beeline for the front door, gets out the front door, goes, and then eventually flags down two cops. Cops notice, oh, this guy has handcuffs on. Oh, wait. My handcuff key doesn't fit these handcuffs. Oh, where'd you come from? You want to take us back there? Yeah, let's go. They go back. Dahmer lets them all in and tries to spin this fucking web of lies about, it's a role play. Kinda. And then they start walking around, and the key is in the bedroom to the handcuffs. So the cop starts making a move for the key. And at this point, Dahmer tries to fucking take off around him to get the key. And the other cop just tells him, like, yo, chill your motherfucking ball sack, bruh. Ain't no need for all that nonsense, nah. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. So then one of the cops noticed that there was a big-ass knife under the bed and also saw an open drawer. And in that, he found a bunch of Polaroids. A lot of them were human bodies in the different stages of dismemberment. And also noticed that they had been taken in that apartment because of the pictures. They're fucking pictures, stupid. And so he went into the living room and showed them to the other cop, and he told the cop, his partner, quote unquote, these are for real. You're fucked, kid. You are officially fucked. You are as butt fucked as all those dead dudes in your past.
And in your freezer.
Yeah. So when Dahmer noticed that he was holding these Polaroids, he got into it with the cops and tried to resist arrest. And obviously two cops fucking won that battle. They cuffed him behind his back, and they called another squad car to come back him up. And by this time, Officer Mueller had opened the fridge and found, two freshly chopped off heads of a black male on the bottom shelf. Or one. Sorry. There was only one.
Only one.
I apologize. Yeah. And then.
But they had a lot of leftovers in the fridge, though.
Well, the one thing that I found at least somewhat not endearing, but at least realistic about Jeffrey Dahmer is while he's sitting there laying on the floor watching them find heads in his fridge and shit, he said, and I quote, "For what I did, I should be dead." Yeah. No shit. So they continued to search. The Milwaukee police continued to search with this Criminal Investigations Bureau, the KIB. It doesn't roll off the tongue. CIB Miami.
But, it's Wisconsin, so.
So this search revealed a total, a grocery list of 4 severed heads in the kitchen, 7 skulls, some painted, some bleached, in his bedroom, inside a closet. And they also found blood drippings on a tray at the bottom of Dahmer's fridge, 2 human hearts, a portion of arm muscle, each wrapped in plastic bags on the shelves. In his freezer, they found an entire torso and a bag of human organs and flesh stuck to the ice at the bottom. Yeah, freezer burn.
He was just preparing for Thanksgiving.
And in other places in the apartment, they also found 2 entire skeletons, a pair of severed hands, 2 severed and preserved penises, a mummified scalp, and in the side of that 57-gallon drum, 3 further dismembered torsos dissolving in the acid solution. A total of 74 Polaroid pictures. And what is this quote? Oh, the chief medical examiner later on, he stated it was more like dismantling someone's museum than an actual crime scene. Which I found kind of cool. Not like it's not cool, but I'm like, I mean, if you're gonna do crazy shit, like at least do crazy shit in a crazy cool way or a crazy way.
Don't half-ass it.
Right. Like
Be
if
cool
you're gonna
about it.
if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right.
Right.
Oh look, there you go.
I just want to know, where the fuck were the neighbors? This was an apartment complex.
There's the picture of people pulling the drum out of the apartment.
I mean, think about this apartment complex. I got nosy ass neighbors. I can't go.
Oh, the neighbors complained about like noises, and some of those noises included chainsaws. Yeah.
No fuck. I mean, how?
That's just what I heard.
But just
I don't know that to be true.
The smell alone,
Yeah.
would have to be rancid. I mean, what the fuck is going on in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
How bad is the cheese smell in Wisconsin? Jesus Christ.
So, they ended up, although, important note, Dahmer waived the right to have an attorney present through his
the
interrogation and shit.
The jig's up at this point.
True, but I think anybody who's worth a shit that knows their shit should always know. Like, you fucking lawyer up no matter what.
Yeah, but you're looking down the barrel of a long-ass fucking AR-15 that way.
So over the next couple of weeks, they interrogated him for over 60 hours. And he also said, threw in on his own, that he had, quote, created this horror and it only makes sense I do everything to put an end to it. He had an odd sense of realism about himself. I'll give him that.
And
it's not like he was totally fucking whacked out of his mind.
And it seemed like, honestly, from what I've heard, he wasn't that fond of the killing. He did not like the killing part of it.
Which is weird. Why the fuck are you strangling him?
But it was the means to the end to get to what he really was.
Strangling is usually a passion kill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or an emotion kill. So that's besides the point. So he admitted to murdering 16 men in Wisconsin since 1987, and also admitted to Stephen Hicks in Ohio back in 1978. Then it would really just go into all this shit about, the different fucking different victims all being done the same way. But he did talk about his what do we want to call it? His shrine that he was planning on making with all these bodies. That's why he had the 2 skeletons and shit. I actually saw, I don't know, it's shitty, but I wanted to try to find it to pull it up on here. But let's see. What is his quote? In a 91 interview, when asked in November of 91 who the altar was dedicated to, Dahmer said, myself. It was a place where I could feel at home. And then he also said that he intended the altar as a quote-unquote place of meditation. And he believed that he could draw a sense of power, and also said, quote, if this, referring to his arrest, had happened 6 months later, that's what they would have found. And he drew this. Which is... Sorry. It's too shitty quality to put up on the screen. skeleton, skulls, and then like just all kinds of other shit made out of bones and shit.
Obviously,
I actually saw a really sick like artist rendition, like charcoal drawing of it.
better than the stick figures drawn.
Ow! I just toe fucked the goddamn desk. Sorry. Hey, that's an acceptable thing. So we go on to his indictment. He admitted to all of this shit. July 91, he had 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Mortar. Is that a lesser charge of murder?
He also had 2 counts of second-degree pestle. So, and then by August 22nd, he had been charged with 11 more murders. And on September 14th, investigators in Ohio, they found hundreds of bone fragments that were later identified as Stephen Hicks. Then 3 days after that, he was charged in Ohio for Hicks murder. He was not charged with the attempted murder of Mr. Edwards nor the murder of Twomey. He was not charged with Twomey's murder because the Milwaukee County District Attorney only brought charges where murder could be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. And Dahmer had no memory of actually committing the particular murder. And there was also no physical evidence. So, fair enough, I guess. I think it's stupid, but I'm not him. So, I'm not even going to go in that far into the trial. Because, stuff was brought up about multiple personality things and psychological things. So, forensic psychologist Dr. Carl Wallstrom diagnosed Dahmer with necrophilia, borderline personality disorder, schizotypal personality disorder, alcohol dependence, and a psychotic disorder. Nobody gives a fuck. They did not take that. They still thought he was fit for trial. And we'll just... what do we have? Don't care about that. Oh, here we go. A Dr. Dietz said that Dahmer strongly identified with the villains of The Exorcist 3 and The Return of the Jedi, particularly the level of power held by these characters. Expounding on the significance of these movies on Dahmer's psyche and many of the murders committed at the Oxford apartments, Dietz explained that Dahmer occasionally viewed scenes from these films before searching for a victim. Dietz diagnosed Dahmer with substance use disorder, paraphilia, and schizotypal personality disorder. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody fucking cares. You're boring
me with these medical terms.
Conviction. You know how long it took the jury to deliberate?
35 seconds?
45 minutes.
That's 44 minutes too fucking long.
Well, you got to remember they probably ate lunch.
Okay.
But, for however fucking many murders, for 16? He didn't get charged with one. For 16 murders, they were in deliberation for 45 minutes. That's fucking fast.
It pretty much opened and shut.
That might be one of the fastest murder convictions I've ever heard. Personally. And I look into this shit a lot. So, he gets locked up. I forget. Let's see the conviction. What was the actual conviction? It was something like 16 consecutive life sentences. Mandatory. 13 counts carrying a mandatory sentence of life imprisonment plus 70 years. Death penalty was not an option. Because fucking liberals. Like, never mind. I'm kidding.
He's joking.
So, he spent his first year in prison in solitary confinement, became a born-again Christian. Nobody fucking cares. You're a sack of shit.
Funny people find God. If you want to find God, just go to prison.
Did the really good interview in the mid '90s with Stone Phillips, which everybody knows it's him. We've all seen the pictures, the memes where he's just. Yeah. That was the Stone Phillips interview. It became a meme.
Jeffrey liked to talk. He's a bit of a talker.
I don't give a fuck about his family talking to him and shit like that. Okay, let's get to the good part. Let's get to the part we're all here for. November 28th, 1994, Dahmer left his cell and went to do his work detail. With him were two other inmates, Jesse Anderson and Christopher Scarver. They were left unsupervised in the showers in the prison gym for about 20 minutes because they were cleaning them. And around 8:10 a.m., Dahmer was discovered on the floor of the bathrooms in the gym suffering from extreme head wounds. He had been severely bludgeoned around his head and face with a 20-inch metal bar. His head had also been repeatedly struck against the wall while he was assaulted. And although he was still alive and was rushed to a nearby hospital, he was pronounced dead an hour later. Anderson had also been beaten with the same instrument and died 2 days later from his wounds. So, Scarver was serving a life sentence for a murder that he committed in 1990 and told authorities that he first attacked Dahmer with the metal bar and that Dahmer was cleaning a staff locker room before attacking Anderson as he cleaned an inmate locker room. And according to him, Scarver, Dahmer didn't yell or make any noise as he attacked him, and immediately after attacking both men, he, mind you, he was supposedly schizophrenic.
Okay.
He returned to his cell and informed the guards and said, "God told me to do it. Jesse Anderson and Jeffrey Dahmer are dead." Yeah.
Payback's a bitch.
Yeah. Dahmer's mom raised hell to the media. Nobody fucking cares.
She raised hell to the media?
Yeah.
Because of his death?
Yeah.
Bitch, shut the fuck up.
Right. So, I mean,
Keep your
just as a killer to kill the whole thing, we'll chronologically run down real quick everybody. 78 was Stephen Mark Hicks. 87 was Stephen Walter Twomey. 88, January 16th, 88, James Edward Doxtator. March 24th, Richard Guerrero. March 25th, 1989, Anthony Lee Sears. May 20th, 1990, Raymond Lamont Smith. What's up, Lamont? June 14th, 1990, Edward Warren Smith. September 2nd, 1990, Ernest Marquez Miller. September 24th, 1990, David Courtney Thomas.
90.
February 18th, 1991, Curtis Durrell Straughter. April 7th, 1991, Errol Lindsay. May 24th, 1991, Tony Anthony Hughes. May 27th, 1991, Conorak, whatever the fuck his last name is, because it's long as shit and he's Laotian. June 30th, 1991, Matt Cleveland Turner. July 5th, 1991, Jeremiah Benjamin Weinberger. July 15th, 1991, Oliver Joseph Lacey. July 19th, 1991, Joseph Arthur Braidhoft.
He was only getting better, baby.
God damn. That was the one. Wait, where? Weinberger. That was the one. That was the fucking one that I missed. Weinberger was the page that I missed because he's the one. Oh, fuck. Does it have anything? Yes. I do have it. He met him at a gay bar in Chicago. This was the kid from Chicago. Yes. Fuck. I did miss a good one. Sorry. We're going back real quick. And he agreed to go back to Milwaukee for the weekend. And that's the one where Dahmer drilled a hole in his head and injected boiling water into it.
Yeah.
It put him into a coma, and 2 days later he died. He did it twice, I believe.
More vegetation. I heard of vegetation where he
ended up in a coma and dying.
Actually, his sex zombie damn near worked.
Yeah, but he did it again, and that's when it put him into a coma and he died.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I read through that whole list because that's the one that I missed.
He was an overachiever in 90, especially in then 91. Motherfucker was busy.
Oh, and if anybody wants to know, feel free to hit me up on Instagram or anything. I have a full list of all of the books and movies, and this is all just cited works at this point. Most of my pages are cited works.
So, are we done with?
Yeah,
we're done.
I told you I was getting Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, really, if you look at it, I did Dahmer
we actually did pretty
less
well.
than 2 hours. Once we actually started the episode,
well, right about 2 hours.
Well, once we actually dove into it.
Yeah, I mean,
I just did Jeffrey Dahmer in less than 2 hours. Suck my dick.
These other podcasts need 2 and 3 episodes.
Motherfuckers.
That's how we roll up in this bitch. Oh, I'm fucking.
Fuck.
I've been drinking, so I don't give a fuck.
Me too. Not that much, but.
So,
sorry.
Dahmer. Is he the most prolific serial killer?
When are we considering the start of the modern day? Because by prolific, are we talking about who we hate the most?
I'm saying the
Because
most.
we're going by who we hate the most. I still think Albert Fish is probably the top of my list because he exclusively killed kids.
Okay. Yeah, see, you can't really categorize these people that way. But I do think the cannibalism throws this case into the big leagues. It's the major leagues.
Yeah. Like, I'm cool with cannibalism for
if you're Son of Sam
survival.
and just shooting fucking people in a car, you're kind of lame.
Yeah, Zodiac Killer was lame. Son of Sam was lame.
Right. BTK. A little bit more interesting.
Yeah, but BTK had some really creepy facts about him, too. Like, for instance, I know at least one family, he knew how their security system worked because he installed it. So, like, when the security company got a hold of him, he was like, he basically said, he was like, I know that there is a code for everything's okay, and there's a code for please send the police. So, let's not fuck about here. Because I will kill your wife and children. And he was also a fucking idiot. You know he got caught, don't you?
Oh. I'm sure.
He sent a floppy disk with things on it, not thinking or realizing that they can track that shit. Even back then. Yeah.
You don't have to be smart to be a serial killer. But I think what...
how do you get caught on that? They still have not caught the fucking Black Dahlia killer. He sent shit all the time. Like, he sent letters and stuff like that. He was, like, the originator of the piece together newspaper clipping notes.
Oh,
because he said, he was like, dude, he said multiple times, if I only get 10 years, I'll fucking cop to it. I don't know how the fuck he thought he was only going to get 10 years once he copped to it, because he literally killed a young, lovely actress and fucking cut her in half. We should do that one, too. The Black Dahlia murder. Crazy story. Fucking sick band.
But I think what makes Dahmer is the whole cannibalism thing, which really, the cannibalism didn't really come in till later.
And I think his demeanor helps, too.
But
he was always so calm and collected whenever you saw him on TV and shit. I think that lends to his he's got a weird, like, stoic mysticism about him, or had.
And I could be wrong with this. Have there been any... He was the last big serial killer that I don't... Press-wise, that was, top of the news cycle.
When was Eileen Wuornos?
So I've never...
You don't know who Eileen Wuornos is?
Oh, the woman?
Yeah, in Florida.
I don't know. I mean, Dahmer's the last one. Of course, I could have not just gave a fuck.
I mean, there's definitely been plenty since then,
but never got this kind of.
Well, I think they
nationwide.
the press finally got the fucking message that they need to stop putting this shit all over the goddamn news.
Not giving them the celebrity.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with what we were talking about earlier: rioting, fucking cop shootings, all this shit. Stop putting it on the fucking news so much. You don't give it as much power. It'll not that it goes away, but the less power you give it, the less fucking air you put beneath its wings, if you will.
I mean, but I think
also murder is just very common. Like,
sex and murder sells, baby. And when you got throwing a little,
well, and it's like sex and murder are two of the most primal things to existence. They're two things that had to be done at one point in our existence to survive.
And let's be honest.
Or to survive and to carry on our lineage.
Think about the time of his murderous activity. 80s really picked up, late 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Homosexual. Now, different
How he did not get AIDS blows my mind. And I'm not saying that to be stereotypical. From what I understand, he had sex with at least 200 people.
Trust me, I'm of the age generation. My sexual peak was at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, but think about, there was a definite different mentality toward homosexuality in the late 80s, early 90s. And once the 90s hit, it started to change a little bit, but not what it is now. And when you throw in this component, at that time, of course they were going to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that was a story. So the homosexuality.
See, it does make it shitty too, because like the cannibalism I get, because that's shocking to anybody.
Right.
But like, I could just see it in my head. I could see some big-haired fucking shoulder pad wearing bitch fucking news reporter outside of a courtroom like, and Dahmer was a mass murderer who was also a cannibal, and he was gay. This is Patricia Hardstone for Channel 17 News. Back to you in the studio, Jim. Well, Patricia, that is a very, very overwhelmingly interesting story. And now we turn to a water skiing squirrel. Tom, I tell you what, sometimes after stories like this, Dahmer guy, you just need a smile. Look at this. Look, his name's chock full of nuts, just like Jeffrey Dahmer's victims. And he is just skiing along like a little fucking twat. Look at him. He's so goddamn cute. He's almost as cute as you when I put my panties on you after we record, Paul.
Oh, shit. No, I think that cannibalism is a big thing because
it's shocking.
Oh, that reminds me. The new series on Showtime, you have anything on your
Showtime.
Yellow Jackets? It's fucking good.
Have you happened to watch? You got on TikTok now. Have you seen the trend where people are like, "Oh, record yourself watching the opening scene to Nocturnal Creatures"?
Nocturnal doesn't that have
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, and what's her name? The redhead.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
You've seen it?
I've seen the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember the opening scene?
I'm trying to think of what it was.
All the naked women.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched it the other night with the better half. She fell asleep. The ending fucking pissed me off.
Oh yeah, it was a horrible fucking movie.
The movie was cool. The ending was fucking stupid.
But what was I saying? But Yellow Jackets kind of about a plane crash. The soccer team.
Oh, so it's about the Chilean soccer team.
It's a blatant ripoff, but they haven't really said they're cannibalistic. They were out there for 19 months before they got found. They were fucking, because the way it opens up, but they're all still alive. The ones that are still alive.
Yeah, the way it opens up, they're not cannibals. ¿Dónde está Marco? Yo no sé.
No, they were high school kids. They were high school kids going to nationals. High school girls.
Oh,
girls.
My God. I'm not watching that
Oh,
shit.
it's fucking hilarious. It's got Christina Ricci in it.
Yeah, I'm not watching
It's got a...
Christina Ricci's not helping. Unless it's Casper.
And what's her name? What's from Natural Born Killers? Juliette Lewis.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't put a face to it.
Yeah,
I know her. I just...
from Natural Born Killers. Her father was... Clint Eastwood's sidekick in Any Which Way You Can.
How's that supposed to help me? Like, I know who you're...
Salem's Lot. The one that gets killed and he's out the window scratching? The scary scene in Salem's Lot? He was stuck...
I just can't see her face. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
like, I know other movies she's been in. I just can't fucking put it.
But she's in it. And then what's her name from 2.5 Men? That one annoying neighbor that had the hots for Charlie. They would never. He might have banged once, but
that wasn't the one lady from Dahmer and Greg, was it?
I never watched.
Dahmer and Greg was funny.
I never watched. She's a Scientologist. I never watched it.
So, I've seen Top Gun. What? Tom Cruise is a fucking Scientologist?
He's the Grand Poobah of Scientology.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a poster child. No, but
I've seen Swordfish.
Anyway, that is a...
great.
It seems
great.
To be, what?
Good job, Phil.
What? Yellow Jackets? Oh, watch it.
Well, I don't have Showtime, so...
I'll handcuff you and watch you.
Well, weren't we supposed to? You and I gonna exchange something anyway?
Well, that's on. I still have cable.
No, weren't you and I supposed to like swap fucking logins for shit? I mean, when we're together and we're legally allowed to use one of other's accounts, of course.
We were going to do that when I dropped my cable and just went to like Netflix and all. I was going to get something and get it.
HBO.
Right. Well, see, I have all that shit now, but I just haven't got rid of my cable yet because I was holding off for Dexter.
Yeah. Actually, because I was supposed to. Somebody wants my Paramount Plus information for their HBO information, and it keeps reminding me that because I don't have HBO, but it keeps reminding me that Paramount Plus has some new horror movie because it's Paramount, so it's on their streaming service. I forget what it is.
But Yellow Jackets is actually it's fucking interesting.
Duly noted.
I've seen 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Because it comes on after Dexter.
I already got to go back and watch like the fucking 3 episodes of Squid Games that I watched without her. I didn't know she wanted to watch it.
Did you like it?
I haven't finished. I've only watched like 3 episodes.
I wasn't a big fan. I mean, I don't know.
Like I've enjoyed what I've watched.
It was okay. It was okay.
I don't see like why it's even already. I don't see why it's like cult classic level.
Why it was the global phenomenon that it was.
Holy fuck! Yeah, let's fucking kill this thing. Jesus Christ!
I'm
tired. I love you guys, but I'm fucking tired.
We're out of here. Thank you for joining us. If you are watching this or listening to this,
eat my fucking dick.
No, do not do that because unless you haven't flossed your teeth yet.
And you really like soy sauce and teriyaki.
But if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, you want to join in the fun, head on over to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Ghost of the Night.
Yeah, and if you're out there listening to this, leave us a review.
And a 5-star.
Even if you fucking hate us. Even if it's a 1-star review, I don't give a shit.
Well, I prefer 5.
I prefer 3 and up. But any review is a good review because even if it's a bad review, it gives us something to talk about.
But
because we haven't flamed a hater in months.
I know. We did get one in September, a bad one. Did we already talk about here?
Was that the one that we couldn't understand?
No. This is an actual...
Oh, no, that was the one we didn't have to address because one of our people addressed it.
Yeah, that was actually a comment.
Yeah, nah.
But no, this was an actual review on iTunes.
What?
Yeah, we got a bad one.
When?
I was this, bored and looking. Hold on, we'll pull this up before we get out of here.
Bonus material.
I mean, I give him credit. He was short and to the point. It made sense. I can't disagree with him. I can't disagree with him too much. Okay, here we go. See, that's right. Well, in September or August 14th, we got a good one. We got a 5-star.
Oh,
a great show with a different perspective that leaves no rock uncovered. Thank you, David. But September 8th,
thank you, David.
We got a 1-star from Dr. Doom Jr. And it says,
"Go fuck yourself, you fucking Fantastic Four dick riding cockboy son of a bitch."
Hold on, it says immature.
Dr. Doom is the most homoerotic villain in all of fucking the bullshit fucking universe that he is in.
But it says immature and unfunny.
Yeah.
I can't disagree with that. We might have covered this one before. I don't remember.
I think we did.
Did we cover it? Well, thank you. Yeah, but we did get a 5-star in August.
I don't know. I bet you that's the kind of guy that talks about how he likes intellectual comedy. Woke comedy. Fuck you.
Eat a dick.
You just need to jump off your high horse and then land on a fucking 74.5 centimeter wide dildo. You fucking cockmonger,
yes.
Dick eating, fucking anus defiling, fucking velociraptor, big toe claw up the fucking dick hole, cock munching, fucking douche twat.
Is that a technical term?
Thank you for the review.
Anyway,
suck a fart out of my ass.
But if you're listening to this podcast, you can join us on Mondays, generally at 8:00.
Depending on my work schedule.
Depending on his work schedule. But follow us on all the social medias.
Anybody who's listening to this later that listens regularly, I apologize for us not going live until Tuesday.
But, it happens.
I did work my dick off for the last 4 days,
and actually,
so I will say I have earned my late podcast.
And actually, from now on in this situation, because I almost did it last night, I was going to go live just to say, hey, we're not doing a live thing if you want to shoot the shit. That way, but I said, fuck it. I was lazy. I said, fuck it. But follow us on YouTube, and you can watch live, interact with the people in chat. Generally, it gets a little crazy and wild. But be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think we're up to 3. We got another one today, I think.
389 last time I looked.
I think before.
But I haven't looked in a day or two.
I think this afternoon or this evening it went to 390. We got another one. So
I think we're up to like 609 on Instagram.
Yeah, so whoever you were, thank you. Follow us on all the social medias. Instagram's the best one at night or
Ghost _night _podcast.
What Travis says. Twitter at night _ghost. TikTok.
GITN.podcast.
Which is up and running. We've got some.
Yeah, I was thinking about going home and cutting something up for that. Actually, I need to talk to you about a couple clips that we have in the cloud for that.
Okay. Okay. Well,
one we need to throw in at least one more bleep.
I missed a bleep.
I think it's not a traditional cuss, but
is it a cock or twat?
Coming.
Oh, I'm not throwing out coming.
What the fuck do you mean? Like
coming is not a cuss word.
Okay, so
just because you put it,
hold on.
U.
So you have kids. If one of your kids had a kid that was like 5 and walked up right now, and they're like, "What are you guys doing after the podcast?" I'd be like, "Fucking coming everywhere." You'd be okay with that?
Yep.
He says that now.
It's not one of the 7 cuss words. I think that was Chupacabra.
I hope
it was, or somebody's outside the door going to murder us.
Right.
I guess I can bleep it out. If I'm going to bleep that out, I might bleep out twat too, that you say repeatedly. I will say, if you haven't seen the video, you people are still in the chat, go see the Nickelback fucking rant video. That is a fucking classic.
Squeak. I'll play it for you later.
It is a fucking classic. That is my favorite one of all time.
That was a good one.
But
that's why Nickelback is now banned in the chat.
Yes, I can say it, but I'm the only one that can say it. But everything we're gonna start putting more on TikTok. We'll get that covered.
I just gotta get I'm not trying to make excuses for not posting on TikTok. It's just I didn't realize there's so many editing options within TikTok.
Well, see, you do that, but
like, there's so many, and you can use different ones all over the place.
Right.
Like you can like hold the screen, and if you want this effect, like you hold it on there, and it does it for however long you hold it on the video, and then it lays that in, and then you can switch to a different type of edit and put that immediately behind. It's crazy.
And we also those TikToks, the same footage I am putting up as shorts on YouTube.
Cocks.
I've got a couple up 2 already. They won't be as fancy as the TikToks because I'm just putting them up. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing content, bitches.
I'm pretty sure I can say. Well, I don't see why we couldn't do the TikTok to that. I can give you the TikTok login.
Or you can just I might be able to save it.
I haven't looked at TikTok in like 3 days. I'll be honest. I almost forget that it's even a thing.
But so follow us on TikTok. Follow us on all the social medias. You can send us an email at gitnpodcast@gmail.com. I think that's about it. We will see you next Monday.
Hopefully. We'll let you know what the subject is.
And we might try to get out a Patreon episode of some sort here in the future.
I'm down. You going to your mom's for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, but I'll be back fairly early.
I was because I'm off tomorrow and Thursday.
If you want to come over and record.
Well, I mean, I do have something to do. I do have a dinner to go to Thursday, but
I mean, Thursday night.
Yeah, depending on how it goes.
You know, if you want to do something, I do have to work Friday.
So do I.
Okay. But maybe we'll record something Thursday for a Patreon. A Thanksgiving Day Thanksgiving Day horror special.
Yeah, tomorrow or Thursday, either way. Tomorrow will probably be better. I doubt anybody would be fucking watching on the day of.
Well, I mean, we could always just record.
Could.
If we do Patreon, then we'd be watching anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But
we got to figure something out.
We'll figure something out. But we will try to be back next Monday. But we will keep you up to date. And if it is not going to be Monday, I will come on Monday, say hi. I will be coming on Monday. Bleep that out. On Monday. So we'll see you next Monday for sure. Take care, everybody, and we love you.
Don't get paid $50 to take nudes, or else your butthole will be reamed, and then you will be strangled.
And if they offer you a drink, say no.
Yeah.
Or do the old switcheroo.
That's what I'm saying. Do the fucking Princess Bride.
Yes.
Or you would be smart enough to know that I would know that you would give me the drink with the poison in it.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Anybody want a peanut?
I'm stopping this shit.